The following is a presentation of Saginaw Spirit Hockey. The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
Playoff time in the Ontario Hockey League. It's close, and really, it might as well be. Saginaw Spirit trying to secure a favorable playoff spot. The Soo Greyhounds trying to secure home ice in the first round. They know who they're playing. Saginaw has yet to figure that out, and these 2 points here tonight will be crucial for both of the clubs involved in this game. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being with us tonight. We welcome you inside the Dow Event Center and up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. My name's Dylan Clark. We'll be joined by Jack Snevice later on in the broadcast. And again, if this were a playoff series, this would be Game 7 against the Soo Greyhounds and the Saginaw Spirit. 3 games aside, the most recent one, a 6-0 victory by the Soo in this building on February the 4th, courtesy of a 37-save Carter George shutout. Fast forward to now, though, both teams have won just 5 out of the last 10. Greyhounds looking to shake off a 3-0 loss at the hands of the Brantford Bulldogs on home ice. Saginaw looking to ride the excitement of an interesting 7-3 victory against the Sarnia Sting on Sunday that saw 54 minutes in minor penalties and 19 misconducts handed out between the two hockey clubs. These are important times here in the OHL. Just 3 games left between now and playoff time for these two teams. And the big news for the Soo: 3 huge players get back in the lineup, and none more important than Chase Reed on the back end. He is likely to be the highest OHL player drafted at this year's NHL draft. He missed 17 games with an upper body injury. That includes the last time that the Soo Greyhounds and the Spirit met back on February the 4th. He's got 12 points in 11 games back from the World Junior Hockey Championships before he incurred that injury. 47 points in 42 games played for maybe the top prospect for this year's NHL draft coming out of the Ontario Hockey League. Nikita Klepov for Saginaw, well, he's been the player to talk about really for most of the season. Leads the Ontario Hockey League in scoring yet again. He's leapfrogged over Nathan Aspinall. 92 points in 64 games played. Again, his next goal will tie Cole Perfetti for the rookie goal-scoring record here in Saginaw. Klepov and his teammates have 3 more games to secure that scoring title. We'll take a break. When we come back, it was an important night for the special teams and a big part of the reason why the Spirit picked up 2 points up in Sarnia on Sunday. We sat down to talk about the special teams and the road here into the postseason with the Spirit head coach, Chris Lazary. Coach's Corner is coming up in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How did we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh and Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh and Associates. Retirement made clear.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner as the Spirit back home to take on the Soo Greyhounds here tonight, joined again by Spirit head coach Chris Lasry. And coach, the most recent game up in Sarnia, special teams obviously a large factor. You guys go 4 for 8 on the power play, 7 for 7 on the penalty kill. Is this maybe the best your special teams have looked all year?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, special team wise won us the game, and this is the time of the year that they need to come through. Like our power play is going to need to score tonight, and our penalty kills going to need to be good, and then you try to win your 5-on-5 matchup. But we tell our guys all the time, if you can win the special teams, it's like starting a game 1-0, worst case. So important areas for us to keep getting better at, but it was impressive to see in Sarnia just the way they went about it.
It's been an incredibly tight season series here against the Sioux so far. 3 games apiece. Last time they were here, shots were even, scoring chances pretty tight, 37 shots apiece, but kind of a lopsided score going the other way. What do you remember about that game, and how did things kind of trend in that direction?
Well, it's a big time rival for us. They're playing for home ice too. Like they've got a lot of stuff to play for. Chase Reed and those guys ready to get back into the lineup. They're gearing up for playoffs. We're trying to get out of 8, moving to 7, chase down 6. We're gearing up for playoffs. Like it's going to be should be a highly competitive game, but we've played them so much. We know what to expect. To me, when you know a team as good as we know them, they probably know us. It comes down to execution.
And you talked about how close things are in the standings, and when 2 points or a lack of 2 points is the difference between going to Flint or Windsor or Kitchener. Do you essentially move the playoffs up a week? Is that how you handle things in the room with the guys? Have they basically already started?
Yeah, like it feels like that for us. And it's good, really, with a young group that hasn't been through it at all. We want them to be playing in front of big crowds in what are like quote unquote must-win games, and we've been responding pretty well. So I like that our group is in this environment, in this situation where they've got to play their best hockey, and the margin for error is so thin. Like you got to really be dialed to the details, which every coach wants their team to do. So it's a perfect environment for our guys here to go out and play.
Nikita Klepov, 3 games left to secure a scoring title. Anytime he's asked about it, he deflects, says he's just focused on wins. But for his teammates, how important is it to them to make sure they can help him get that scoring title?
Well, I mean, every conversation I have with him, that's all he talks about is the scoring title. So no, he does deflect. Like it's about winning for Nikita. I mean, he probably knows what's going on, but he's smart. Like he puts his attention into how he's playing, how the team's playing, things he needs to do to work on his game, knowing that if he does those things, the outcome will be what the outcome is, which will probably be his production. So it'd be interesting for him. I'd love to be in his brain to feel what it's like to try to play a must-win game, but also have that one eye on the scoring race. Like it's probably not easy, but for him, he's playing the game he loves. If he just plays the way he's capable of playing, like he will score goals. We need him to score goals, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
And lastly, the coaches poll came out the other day. You guys had 4 players that were recognized around the league as the best in some areas. How good is it to see kind of that recognition for some of the guys and some of the skills that might not be as talked about?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could add a lot more guys in there, but to have the guys we have in there when you're not having maybe the greatest year, it's impressive. And you're always like, look, we went down and watched Zane play on Monday in Calgary. The best part of this job is it's like being a proud father. Like you watch a kid play in the NHL, you're super proud. You watch those guys win those awards, be in scoring races, Hanny starting to score, the kill penalties, the 16-year-old, whatever the case may be with the players. You're just super proud when you see guys succeeding and developing, because at the end of the day, it's always about them. It's about trying to get these guys to achieve their dreams and their goals. And we're their support system, and we're the guys that need to help them do that. So when they have success or are recognized for success, to me, it's the best part of the job. It's why you do it. It's a motivating factor. I love watching all of our guys get recognition because I see them every day and I know how special they are.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Lasry, Saginaw, taking on the Soo Greyhounds here tonight at home. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Both returning to the lineup after sustained absences here for the Soo Greyhounds. It'll be Carter George in net. And for the Saginaw Spirit, second line, we'll start out here for Chris Lazary. They've gone back to a more traditional look up front. Brody Papoy, Carson Harmer, and Jacob Kluche to start out. Josh Glavin and Blake Barnes on the blue line. Stepan Shurigan between the pipes yet again. Your starting lineups brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University. We take a break, and it is Saginaw and the Sioux, Part 7, coming back after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Kluche scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Zilkin. It'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Zilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
Stepan Shurigan among the busiest. First in minutes in the Ontario Hockey League, second in saves. This will be his 57th appearance of the season, his 8th consecutive start. Named the third best puck-handling goaltender in the coaches' poll that came out earlier this week. 3-3 against the Soo Greyhounds so far this season. The young goaltender out of Samara, Russia. Tonight's officiating crew brought to you by WNEM TV5. Mac Nickel and Hillary Brennan are the referees. Devin Gale and Luke Pye, the linesman, here for this one. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Snevice. And Jack, it was an interesting game last time the Greyhounds were here. You'd expect if you go 37 shots against 37 shots, things are going to be a little bit tighter. But Carter George has proven he can be a difference for the Soo Greyhound Hockey Club.
And everyone's known how good Carter George has been since he made his debut. All those years ago with Owens on attack and getting just the 10 games he did his rookie season, he has been a staple in net for not only the Soo Greyhounds and Owens on attack, but Hockey Canada as well. You welcome back a player like Chase Reed. You get a full roster in the Soo Greyhounds. This is a very, very good measuring stick game for a young Saginaw team. Both these teams battling for playoff position. Round 7 of a division rivalry on a Wednesday night, and Saginaw doesn't get much better than this.
Playoffs haven't started yet, but they might as well have. Soo Greyhounds have 1 point on the London Knights in the standings. They know that they will meet. Greyhounds want to make sure they get home ice. Saginaw in 8th right now can finish as high as 6th. They want to stay away from the Kitchener Rangers if possible. Our Delta College opening face-off. Carson Harmer back to Barnes and then Glavin. And in behind Carter George, who gets his first touch on this puck here tonight on a Wednesday. Thanks for being with us, everybody, from the Dow Event Center. Josh Glavin braces for contact against Travis Hayes. Brady Martin makes his season series debut against the Spirit here tonight. This is back onto the tape of Chase Reed, one of the top prospects coming out of the Ontario Hockey League for this year's NHL draft. Carson Harmer back in behind. Blake Barnes held at the left point by Lucas Fisher. To Reed, walks in. The shot deflected by the stick of Brody Papoy. Reed gets the rebound back and is saved by Stepan Shurigan. Here's the captain, Martin, for Chase Reed with a battle in front of the net. He slaps it back over to Martin, walking into the circle and a pad saved by Shurigan. He's in with 2 quick stops early in this contest. Brody Papoy gets the puck to center and dumps it in on Carter George.
Going to be interesting to see the line matching from head coach Chris Lazary for the Saginaw Spirit. So deep are the Soo Greyhounds. And obviously, how can you get the line of Barabanov, Klepov, and Jilkin into a matchup you like? Those three as electric as anybody in the OHL, the top line for the Saginaw Spirit.
Justin Cloutier will ramp it back in behind Stepan Shurigan. Quinn McKenzie, who wears the 24 that Cloutier used to wear in the Sioux. Back around for Pangrenich. This is McKenzie in behind the net of Stepan Shurigan. About a minute and a half into this first period. No more stick for the Spirit netminder. James Goll will send that one off the boards for Dima Zhilkin. Does not quite get the red line, but Nikita Klepov sneaks in, no icing. Wanted to leave it back in front for his line mates. Greyhounds take over. Levi Harper, a collision with Justin Cloutier. Back onto the care now. Pangrenich, a stretch pass. McKenzie's at the line. James Goll right in front of him. That one quickly poked to the boards. Levi Harper and Dima Zhilkin go against Noah Laus. Barabanov strides out. Shurigan still hasn't picked up his goal stick. Barabanov will fire it into the far corner and go to the bench on a change. Shurigan might not be aware of where that stick is right now. And as he watches, this goes back in behind his own net. Drew Roscoe's got to be careful where that stick is. Off to the near side, Ryan Hanrahan against Callum Croskery. Back into the corner, Jones and Roscoe. 7 Spirit defensemen took warm-ups. As this is Ryan Hanrahan down the right side. Swept away by the active stick on Spencer Evans. Noah Laus, cross ice. Fitzgerald, who also draws back into the lineup. He, Reed, and Marco Mignosa, the team's leading scorers, all get back in. Their returns from injury tonight, and there's a big hit by Fitzgerald on Saginaw's Jones. Carson Andrew can't get around Drew Roscoe. More reinforcements from the Soo Greyhound bench. The top defensive pairing of Fisher and Reed is back out. This is Sharon. The dart past Jones to the circle. Pad save by Shurigan, whose stick is even further from where it was before. Now Carson Harmer picks things up, and up to center red he goes. Long stretch without a whistle here to start things out. Reed up for Sharon. Bump back towards neutral ice. Here come the Greyhounds again. Christopher Brown laid back in. The defenseman Fisher, the first man to it in Saginaw real estate for the Soo Greyhounds. Turn it right back onto the stick of Saginaw's Harmer. Then Blake Barnes up to his own blue line, calmly ahead. Jacob Kluche tries to get around Mignosa. Back onto the near sidewall. Harmer wants to lift the stick of Mignosa, but it's Brady Martin again. Martin into the offensive zone. Forced wide by Harper. Past that fallen goal stick. Must be broken, Jack. As here's Pangretich sliding back across, and the shot goes out the other side. Pangretich will twist it there for Martin. To the circle, then the point. That shot goes off bodies, maybe the goaltender as well. Loose play in behind the net. Martin wanted to wrap it around. He can't do it. Barnes has to go around that fallen stick. And the Spirit just get it out to center.
The Greyhounds are doing a really good job capitalizing on that right now, getting Shurigan moving, and most importantly, going after aggressively the dump and chase, knowing the netminder Shurigan is unable to play that puck right now.
Off the far boards, this is Nikita Klepov. And Greenwich on the steal. That goes off the skates of Dima Zhilkin. Klepov goes down, trying to win it back. Nobody at the point, so Harper's at neutral ice. A couple of right shot defenders together. Harper and James Go, rather. Now here's Klepov in the circle. Walks in. First good save made by Carter George with the shoulder. Bouncer back up to neutral ice. Kluche into the offensive zone. Offside for the Sioux. As Jeremy Martin got in ahead of things. 15-25 here in the first period. And finally, we will get a new stick here for the Spirit goaltender.
The look of release, Stepan Shurigan looked to the sky after that whistle finally went. He knew, good call, partner. He knew that stick was broken, and now he can get a new twig. Very, very rare you see a goaltender break a stick like that, but a good job by the Spirit to hang tough and allow their netminder at least to get a whistle and regroup, get that stick back in hand, and now we restart again 0-0.
A little tough to see exactly where that was broken. That probably felt, about 4 minutes, probably felt like an eternity for Shurigan, who emerges unscathed in a decent hit from Bodie Stewart. Xander Valeris dumps it back in from center red. Evans back in behind his own net. No score. 5 minutes gone here in the first period. In a season series split right down the middle, 3 games apiece. They'll meet one more time 48 hours from now in Sault Ste. Marie. Glove down by Croskery. Off the boards in front of Kluche. McKenzie will find him. Justin Kluche dumps it back in. 4 points in his only game against Saginaw this year since returning from NCAA action. Giveaway there, and that's the last guy you want to give it to. Reed in front, nobody home. Lucas Fisher has to go back out to center ice to regroup here. Another line change for Saginaw. Reed into the offensive zone. Tries to knife through. That shot blocked by Xander Valeris. Goes to the near corner again. Tap back underneath, and Valeris is there. Liam Storts at center ice. 2 Greyhounds quickly to him. Jensen Geldart back on through for Saginaw. Trying to dip that one past Reed. Pays a bit of a physical price. Fitzgerald over with Barnes on the far wall. Geldart there. Puck support for the Spirit. Poked at by Liam Storts, and then back in behind. The Sioux net for Fisher. Outlet pass. Fitzgerald. Down the wing. Watched by Blake Barnes. Fitzgerald stops up. Wants to send it back down low. Storch comes over. 2 against 2. Finally, puck comes back out over center ice. Pangretich back up for Jakob Winkelhofer. Into the offensive end on a bouncing puck. Watched by Josh Glavin. 4 players battle in the corner again. Carson Andrew got tied up there with Barabanov. Barnes has to slip it up the wall. Pangretich read that. Loose puck taken off his skate. Sharon near side. One-timer got ramped up off the stick of Josh Glavin on that chance from Winkelhofer out of play. And we get a stoppage. 13-19 to go in the first period. No score between the Spirit and the Sioux. Visitors have a 4-1 shot advantage. Back to Saginaw after this.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber, Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Carson Armour, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. No score here between the Saginaw Spirit and the Soo Greyhounds. Defensive zone faceoff coming up. Dimas Jokin, the Spirit captain, reunited with his favorite teammates, Igor Barabanov and Nikita Klepov. Third and first in the OHL in scoring right now. The race had been between Klepov and Flint's Nathan Aspinall, but Igor Barabanov, 88 points on the year, has snuck his way into the conversation. There's a shot right off the faceoff and the rebound off Shurigan. And then in front of the net, looked like Sharon got a good whack at that. Saginaw emerges unscathed. This is Jokin. And then James Go for Klepov. Trying to snap a 2-game goal-scoring drought. Had 3 assists against Sarnia in that span, so don't feel too bad for him. This is Carson Andrew. Motoring on in for the Sioux. Lays it off the wall. Gets a stick check from Barabanov. Then stapled to the boards by James Go. Barabanov helps Levi Harper. Finds Jokin. Little fumble there, and the Saginaw captain's got it under control again. Lofted back out into the Sioux end. D. Reed waits away from Barabanov. Finds a couple of friendly sweaters, but a turnover in the neutral zone as Klepov rips that one off the wall for Barabanov. Spins off of Hayes. Finds Klepov. Down low is Jokin. Can't put it in front. Goes off the goaltender George's stick. And then back out to neutral ice. 12:20 to go in the first. That won't count as a shot on goal. Saginaw will sit at 1. Lucas Fisher. Angled back in by Marco Mignosa. Travis Hayes gets into Saginaw's Levi Harper, and then the puck off the kick plate. Rimmed around by Brady Martin. Kicked by Barabanov. And finally out to center. Dimas Jokin trying to steal there from Mignosa, and it's back up for Martin. Brady Martin into the offensive zone. Mignosa shoots in stride. Good save by Shurigan. Jacob Kluche can't get the puck out for the Spirit. Bunted down. This is Travis Hayes, but it'll roll back out to center ice. Fired back in by Kroskary. James Go picks it up off the boards. Turned it right back over to Martin, though, and the Greyhounds, perhaps guilty of too many men on the ice. That's what they'll call.
That was a good about 10 seconds where they actually had 6 skaters on the ice partaking in the play. Not sure if someone on the Saginaw bench caught it, but good job by the officials to catch it after all of that. Late man coming off, I think it was Mignosa, just never got to the bench in time, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is too many skaters out there for the Greyhounds. First power play opportunity of the game for a red-hot power play. The Saginaw Spirit coming in just a shade under 26%. Good for 5th in the OHL. This is where, as you heard from Coach Lazary in Coach's Corner, you can really find yourself up 1-0 as a team if you win the specialty battles.
4 for 8 on Sunday in Sarnia. You're not always going to have afternoons that are that good, but you'll take them when you can get them. Greyhound penalty kill, just shy of 80%, 7th best in the league. This is Levi Harper. The Dimas Jokin, back to Harper with Klepov waiting on the far side circle, and that's where he gives it back to Harper. Down low, wanting Barabanov, nicely read by Evans. Jacob Kluche gets involved. Carson Andrew there as well. 2 against 2 in the corner. Colin Fitzgerald serves the too many men on the ice penalty. Levi Harper, a good keep, and a point shot ramps off the Sioux stick. Jacob Kluche finds Jokin. Looking towards the middle. Levi Harper back to his captain. Harper again. OHL's leading rookie defensive scorer. Over to Klepov. Then Barabanov in the circle. Into the skates of Levi Harper to the goal line. Jokin walks out, slides it in front, looking for Kluche. Disrupted by the shin guards of Winkelhofer. Near side. Jokin one-timer. Pad save George. And the rebound taken care of all the way down the ice by Winkelhofer.
Good couple of looks from the top power play unit of the Spirit there. Just a second shot on net, but both of them being high danger chances. Carter George with a couple of good saves here early. Still 0-0, 55 seconds remaining on the power play.
2 key plays by Winkelhofer there. Second round selection in the import draft by the Sioux this past summer. Fresh penalty killers here for the Greyhounds. Carson Harmer tries to keep it alive. It's into the skates of Fisher, then back out to center. Marco Mignosa will chew up as much clock as he can. Puck almost forgotten by Pangrenich. That goes off the linesman. Fortunate bounce for the Blue. As here comes Jensen Geldon. Then for Brody Papoy. Cut off by Martin. Waved at by Hanrahan. This is Lucas Fisher back in behind the Sioux net. Fielded by James Go and kept alive. 22 on the power play. Ryan Hanrahan to James Go, the overage defenseman. Snaps a shot. That goes off the stick of Mignosa. Out of play. Down to 16 on the power play.
Good work by the Greyhound penalty killers in this one. At least so far, minute 44 killed off. Obviously, when you have players like Marco Mignosa and Brady Martin up front, Martin, of course, first-round pick of the Nashville Predators just a year ago, and Marco Mignosa, fresh off his 300th career game with the Soo Greyhounds, good for second all-time. Lot of talent on this Greyhound bench. And when you have those as your team leaders, there's a reason the Greyhounds are poised to make a run into the playoffs into April.
Carson Harmon gets booted from this face-off for Saginaw, but he helps it come back to James Go anyway. Brody Papoy walks in off of bodies and back up to the blue line where James Go has to surrender to center. Quinn McKenzie follows him back in. Stephon Shurigan smacks the stick on the ice. That means that's the end of the power play. Here comes Fitzgerald out of the box. Brody Papoy back into the offensive zone for Harmer, who gets a hit from the recently released Fitzgerald. Jensen Geldar into space. Papoy with Harmer breaking towards the net. The puck rolled up on the Spirit rookie Papoy. Spencer Evans there for the Sioux. Harmer. A little reverse hit there by Brody Papoy, and it's chased after and one-handed to the near boards by Winkelhofer. Drew Roscoe. Back in Spirit real estate. It is 11 forwards and 7 defensemen for the Spirit tonight. They are offside. 9:05 to go in the first period. Valeris is the 7th D. Sawyer Schmidt took warm-ups but ends up being the late scratch here in this game. Uri Rauja and Tyson Ackerman, the other scratches tonight for the Spirit. And for the Sioux, again, as they get 154 points back into their lineup between Colin Fitzgerald, Chase Reed, and Marco Mignosa. No Tobias Valensky or Blake Aerosmith or Brody McConnell Barker, who battles an illness here tonight. Fisher and Storch tie up back and behind the Sioux net. This has been the healthiest we've seen the Greyhounds in quite some time. Here's Quinn McKenzie breaking in through center. Shut down by Roscoe. Bodie Stewart sweeps on back. Storch blew a tire. Could have been an odd man rush, but here comes Stewart anyway. Well read by Lucas Fisher. Cloutier up to Jeremy Martin. Into the skates of Graydon Jones. Justin Cloutier is in, but offside as Martin could not get back in time. 39 points on the year for the former Flint Firebirds first-round pick. And second player named Martin in this game, Jeremy Martin. Third most underrated in the coaches poll that just came out earlier this week.
Jeremy Martin, kind of like the rest of the Greyhounds, trying to figure it out. You mentioned the lineup, in and out. It's seemingly all season long. A reason probably they're not fighting for the division title right now for the Greyhounds. And Martin just 1 point his last 5 at a 12-game point streak before that. So again, the lineup mixing, matching here down the stretch for the Greyhounds, finding the best kind of recipe for success as they carry into the playoffs.
Brady Martin sends this backhander across again. First game against the Spirit this season at 9 points in 8 visits with him last year. Greyhound captain goes to work in the corner. He's been limited to just 21 games this season. Winkelhofer at center for Pangrenich. Off the boards, Mignosa lays it back in. Travis Hayes tied up by Igor Barabanov. Gets some hands up high, and Jilkin off the weak side. Barnes then for Klepon, just jammed up along the wall. No icing as Croskery is there for the Sioux. Puck comes free. Barabanov wanted to feed Klepon. This is Levi Harper. Good active stick from Martin. Back below the goal line it goes. Little reverse hit there by Jilkin. Croskery got the worst of that. Jilkin up to the point. Go, then Harper. Back to James Go. Over, favoring Jilkin, but that was nicely read by Jakob Winkelhofer. James Go has to come over. Winkelhofer flips it up to himself and allows some real estate back and behind the Spirit net. Left ball. Moves that puck before taking the hit to Jilkin. Then ahead, Levi Harper as Jilkin heads back to the bench on a change. Harper has room. Hangs on to the puck and sends it down to a stickless Smith. This is Harmer in front. Looking for Cloutier. Papoy knocked off that puck. Smith has his stick again, so Croskery goes off the glass. Levi Harper's got to get back to secure. No icing. As that puck hit the brakes right in front of the goal line. Smith and Harper Blocked up in behind the Spirit net. This is Jacob Kluche into the offensive zone for the Spirit. Kluche stops up. Those two players just getting untied from off the right side of your screen. While Chase Reed takes over here for the visitors. Evans intercepted by Harmer at center. Lays it back in from the red line. Back to the bench he goes. Spencer Evans for Chase Reed. Picked up. Backhanded pass to Andrew at center. Shouldered by Saginaw's Geldart. And it's back for Xander Valeris. Cross-ice feed to his partner Roscoe. Not a lot of time. Up for Kluche. Lets it go. Brown fumbled. And it's taken now by Geldart. For Brody Papoy. Back into the corner. No more puck for him as Carson Andrews saw to that. Christopher Brown a turnover. Here's Geldart. High in the zone. Roscoe wanted to go towards the net. That gets blocked and bounces down low. Swing and a miss there from Storch. Geldart tries to hold off Chase Reed. Storch comes in. Christopher Brown wins the puck battle. Sharon taps it back over. Laid down off the body of Sharon and poked back in. Brown hauled down by Roscoe. This is Valeris sent back around. Play going to continue. Ryan Hanrahan. In the final 5.5 here of the period. That puck handcuffed Liam Storch. No icing, though. There's Jeremy Martin taken into the near boards by Glavin. Here's Quinn McKenzie. Forced into the wall by Barnes. Loose puck in the slot. Taken by Saginaw Storch. Hanrahan just chops that up over Pangrenich. Now Justin Kluche. Back to Lucas Fisher. Up to McKenzie. Angled in. Barnes doesn't have the steam. McKenzie's got it. Wins the puck battle in the corner. And that's exactly where the puck's going to lay down along those far boards. Finally pried out by Klepov. Tries to escape. That pass doesn't settle for Barabanov. Hanrahan's got to go back and sends one that's out of Josh Glavin's neighborhood. Blake Barnes, the bank pass off the wall. Zilkin's on side, surrounded by white sweaters. Back and behind the Sioux net. Off the near side wall. Klepov dropped off for Harper. Good stick work there. It pops up and into the crowd off the stick of McKenzie and Kluche. 4:37 here in the first period. No score, just 8 shots. The Sioux have 6, Saginaw has 2, but an exciting first period. We're back with more here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
Hi, this is Igor Barabanov, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
No score here from the Dow Event Center. 4:37 left in the first period. 7th meeting between these two hockey clubs on the season. Only 8 shots in this game so far, Jack, but no shortage of excitement.
I'm worried about your voice, Dylan. It's just been back and forth and back and forth. It's been incredible pace to this game. Not often games like this where it's rivals who know each other and know the style of play you're going to try and run. You kind of get this almost basketball on ice. Back and forth we go. It is March after all, but really good pace so far and a good job by Saginaw. Weathering a couple of early chances there from the Greyhounds. Now it's their turn to try and find something here the last 4:28. Somebody's going to make a play here at the end of the period. It's a matter of who.
Puck into the Sioux Greyhound bench. We'll move the face-off back to center. 4:28 here in the first period. Jack cannot contain his excitement for tomorrow.
Go green, that's all I'm going to say. It is very interesting seeing what line the Greyhounds are trying to match up with the Zilkin line. I think it's been all 4 lines at some point, and when you're as deep as the Sioux Greyhounds, you have that benefit. Right now for Coach Lazar, I think it's a matter of finding his matchup he likes best.
Grady Martin drops this off for Travis Hayes, then back to Chase Reed. We'll sit down with Chase Reed coming up in the intermission report. There's a shot that gets deflected off Carson Harmer. Lucas Fisher let it go. Travis Hayes sends it back for Martin. Around the wall, Fisher gets to it. Pressure from Saginaw's Kluche. Can't get it out. Martin keeps it alive. Walks down. Shot blocked by Brody Papoy. Martin gets it back to the corner and the goal line. Then behind the net. Tries to walk out. No dice there. Martin keeps on going. Drops it back for Chase Reed. A sea of bodies in front, and Stepan Shurigan snags that one. He looked around the pile and was able to watch the Chase Reed shot all the way into his trapper.
Screen was in front there from Travis Hayes. Not sure if he didn't center himself or not, but Reed shot. And you can see he's off to the side of the blocker. Shurigan saw that the whole way. Good job by Harmer closing out on that play as well, making sure to not take away his goaltender's eyes. And you can see Shurigan, big body there in that edge of the blue paint. That's an easy shot for him. Not much traffic in front. The shots run to 7-2. 7-2-2 now in favor of the Greyhounds.
Face off to the glove hand side of Shurigan. That Barabanov line is back out to take the draw, which will take an extra moment here. Step on Shurigan, 39 saves on 42 shots in that game against Sarnia on Sunday. He was busy. Big part of the reason why the Sting didn't tie things up on a long 5-on-3. Here comes Klepov, who's escaped quite a long way from his goaltender in a short amount of time. Moved there for Barabanov, gets hauled into the wall by Evans. Klepov tied up. Can't move that battle back. He goes back and forth there with Smith. Meanwhile, the puck is far outside the zone now from Laus. Chopped by Barabanov. So it's a Levi Harper puck right now. Up to Dimas Jilkin at the line. Pursued by Evans. Jilkin shrugs him off. Back behind the net. Tries to dance around Croskery. Jilkin to the top of the zone. Just barely kept it alive. Takes a shot. That'll dribble into the mid-slot before being kicked down and hauled away by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald down the wing. Shrugged off by Jilkin. They both go crashing into the boards. Puck comes the other way. James Go for Levi Harper. Then Barabanov, the quick pass back. James Go off of Barabanov. Pangrenitz puts him into the boards. Two Greyhounds right there. Harper's got a shot for Christopher Brown. The puck squirts out. This is Carson Andrew. Check that Winkelhofer. Then for Andrew. And Winkelhofer sends it back here for Pangrenitz. Off the board, Sharon. Intercepted by Saginaw's Go. Then Pangrenitz. Off the body of Harper. He's jammed up to know where the puck was. Brown in front. Andrew, the open man, they score. Off the broken play, Jordan Sharon. 25th goal of the season. Late in the first period. Soo Greyhounds make it 1-0.
And this is what makes the Greyhounds so dangerous come playoff time. Jordan Sharon, 5th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguin, his 25th goal. This is the 4th line, at least that's listed for the Soo Greyhounds. You have Brown, you have Andrew, you have Sharon, all making things happen on that play. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Greyhounds. They've been out shooting, out chancing Saginaw all period long. Great work by the 4th line in air quotes for the Soo Greyhounds to get on the board and strike first.
8 goals in his first 8 games to start the season for Jordan Sharon. 25th of the season, 5th rounder to Pittsburgh, like Jack said. And those are the kind of guys you can have in your bottom 6. It is a good year. Here's an interception by Saginaw's Geldar. Wants to get it back. He's got to step on Fisher, forced wide, and the shot gets blocked by Chase Reed, so it can be frozen by Carter George.
The depth of the Greyhounds on display right there, and they are one of, if not the deepest team in the OHL. They have 21 players with 10 or more points on their active roster. That's 4 more than any other team in the OHL. So we talk about the injuries and not being able to have that full lineup. Well, now all of a sudden you get those guys healthy, you get everyone involved, and your 1 through 18 is arguably as good as anybody in the league, which goes back to what we talked about, a great measuring stick opportunity for the Saginaw Spirit. How do you generate more offense now when it seems like every time you're out there against the Greyhounds, they have a line ready to match?
Quinn McKenzie against Carson Harmer for this face-off. McKenzie wins it. Fisher banks it around. Justin Cloutier. A heavy shoulder there from Brody Popoy. Lucas Fisher. A hit from the younger Cloutier. The puck poked away. Carson Harmer puts it back in front. Popoy and his skates. That shot goes into the glass. Jacob Cloutier chopped that by McKenzie. Bouncing puck held on the backhand by Jones. Trying to stick handle in the phone booth there. Couldn't keep it alive for too long. In front of the penalty box doors, Popoy hits Justin Cloutier. Puck back for Roscoe, then Jones. Up to the line, Popoy onside, gets it over. Here's Harmer with room, shoots and scores! Carson Harmer, the second line, gets it right back. 1-1 late in the first.
That is how you answer if you're the Saginaw Spirit. What passing at the blue line from Brody Popoy to set up Carson Harmer. One hand on the stick, and Harmer goes blocker side. George was coming out, but it was a little too late to cut down the angle. That's 6 points his last 6 games for Carson Harmer, and if the Spirit can get this second line going, you have to feel really good about things heading into the playoffs. A great answer here late in the first period to make things 1-1.
Talking about depth on the Sioux side, it comes through a little bit more here for the Spirit as Harmer ties things up at 1. We'll see if somebody can double dip here in the final 2 minutes. Barabanov looking for Klepov. The puck not moving far. Redirects off of Nikita Klepov back into the Greyhounds' end. 50-50 at center. Glavin slides it across. This is Klepov. Shrugs off a check from Hayes. Can't get it around Brady Martin. Klepov escapes into the offensive zone. Then Jilkin tries to twist back. The captains come together. Jilkin comes away with the puck and sends it in behind George. This is Barabanov in the final 50 seconds. Barnes. Glavin shoveled intentionally wide off the wall looking for Klepov. Banker from the point. That one goes off a body. Blake Barnes has to retreat to neutral ice again. This is Barabanov off the wall. Klepov with Jilkin. 2-on-1. Klepov shoots that one high. This is Minyosa. Back for Croskery. Evans back for him. Line change for Saginaw's Minyosa. Wanted to bank it back for Fitzgerald. Barabanov. It's a partial line change anyway. As he and Jilkin are still on. Storch has filled Nikita Klepov's spot. He's going to get a pass here from Josh Glavin. Storch knows it's late in the period. That'll be gunned down by Louse. And then Evans. And that'll send us back into the first intermission. Well, it was only a matter of time. One of the more entertaining, low-shooting first periods that we've seen, and finally able to break through with a couple of goals. Jordan Sharon, 25th of the season from Carson Andrew and Christopher Brown. Carson Harmer, 18th of the season from Brody Popoy and Graydon Jones, has us even at 1 apiece. A much deeper Soo Greyhounds team. They have Chase Reed back in the lineup. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll sit down with Chase at ice level. Coming up, first intermission report here from the Dow Event Center on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today. The disability experts in your community.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Century 21 Signature Realty also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
WSGW is keeping you connected with the Great Lakes Bay region and the world. Tune in to quality local shows. Mihinte on Air, United Shades of Gray, That's What She Said, Generating Gratitude, and Hey, Great Lakes Bay. Saturday mornings until 9 and Sunday afternoons at 4, or anytime on your favorite podcasting app. Great Lakes Bay Connections. Local voices, local stories, local people. Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
Reed joins us now from ice level. Chase, I know Greyhound fans, happy to see you back in the mix of things. How was your first 20 minutes back after an extended absence?
It was good. I'm definitely a little tired, so I got to get my legs back under me. But I think overall I had a pretty good period, and the team's doing well.
Things very tight out there right now. 1-1 through the first 20 minutes of play. Does it feel like two teams that are battling for important standings right now?
Yeah, I definitely say it's like a playoff game for sure.
And for you guys this year, an incredibly deep team, widely talked about in the OHL. You got a 5-game series against the Windsor Spitfires last year. Just how hungry are you for the deep playoff run that is kind of predicted here for you guys this season?
Yeah, obviously not coming out with the result we wanted last year. It's all the more motivation to go out there this year and prove ourselves and win it all. So,
and for yourself, busy year, a lot of hockey. CHL USA Prospects Challenge, obviously in and out of things here with the Sioux, and it's your NHL draft year. How do you kind of sort through all the noise and stay focused and stay away from being overwhelmed in a busy year?
Yeah, I definitely lean on my family and my little brother a ton. They get me through everything I need to get through, and they're always there when I need to talk. So if I need a little bit of time away from the rink with everything going on, I know I can call them and just talk about life and not just hockey.
Well, Chase, appreciate the time. Good luck in the second, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That's Chase Reed, 1-1 hockey game right now. His fingerprints will be all over the next 40 minutes to be sure. We'll take a break. Highlights and analysis coming up. Your first intermission report here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Carroll, Croswell, and Sebring factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
It's time for your intermission report from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Here's Dylan Clark.
Juan Shurigan among the best and the busiest in the OHL. Had to make a couple of saves without his goal stick. That was the first challenge, the first mountain for the Spirit to overcome. Shurigan ends up making 7 saves in that first period. Carter George, pretty decent stop for Nikita Klepov. Just a handful of feet off the goal crease to keep things scoreless early on. Broken play. And the depth, the fourth line comes on through. No mistake there. Christopher Brown and Carson Andrew helped Jordan Sharon cash in with his 25th goal of the season. 17:39, the time of that goal. Not quite a minute later, broken play. And a hard, heavy, high shot by Carson Harmer. His 18th goal of the season will get things right back to level for the Saginaw Spirit. Your first intermission stats brought to you by Raymond. 8 shots to 3. Spirit unsuccessful on their one power play chance. Sharon and Harmer, the goal scorers, will bring you back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark and Jack Snevice. And Jack, the speed was the first thing that stood out in that first period. We mentioned it before we even got to our first media timeout, probably because we didn't get any whistles in that time. This is the best time of year, shy of the playoffs.
Yeah, and it had that playoff feel, right? You saw a couple of big hits there early, a couple of scoring chances with Shurigan missing a stick, and then a couple of goals at the end. Look, ice has been a premium in the neutral zone, and then once you've gotten into the offensive end for both sides, it seems like there's no room for margin of error at all. I mean, there's a reason. There's 11 shots in this game. There's been 13 faceoffs in total. It's been up and down the ice, but the team's done a great job collapsing kind of in that box, that diamond formation for their own netminders to keep the shots at a minimum and scoring chances at a minimum, which is why we only have a 1-1 game. But you mentioned the pace has been incredible so far.
We saw that one Spirit power play kind of split right down the middle between the top unit and the second unit, which features a handful of youngsters, Jensen Gelnart, Ryan Hanrahan. We've talked a lot about the trust that those younger players are getting from their coaching staff. We haven't usually seen the power play units get split like that, 1 minute here, 1 minute for the other unit. It's kind of been dominated by the Stars to this point in the season. So in an important game and a close game like this, what does it mean that the youngsters get power play time in that scenario?
It means it's playoff time, right? And we've been kind of ad nauseum talking about the Greyhounds and how their lineup has been mixing and matching all year. They've had guys out here, guys out there. It's kind of been the same for Saginaw, right? And you've had a lot of young players in this Spirit roster who have just kind of been playing games, right? You know, you've missed Zilkin at times. You've missed Levi Harper at times. You've missed, obviously, Go and Glavin for a long period of time just recently. So these young guys have had experience all season long, and you're relying on them now in moments like this that are big, that are power play, that are penalty kill, that are huge moments in this game, because that's the kind of moments they'll be seeing come playoff time as well.
We talked about it's 1-1 hockey game right now and all the things that went right for Saginaw. Still, at the end of the day, held to 3 shots in the first period. How do they make sure they get more chances in the second?
We got to shoot the puck, and it's been, it's easier said than done, right? Pucks on net, as the old saying goes, but the Greyhounds have done an unbelievable job on their own end. And when you have Carter George backstopping things as well, it makes it even tougher because you're trying to find the perfect shot when really you just need to get pucks on net. You kind of saw a broken play, for lack of a better term, with Brody Papoy just pushing that over to Harmer. He had a clear lane shot on net. You're not going to get a whole lot of that open ice, those open lanes to the net. So you got to capitalize when you do. Quick thinking, release it as quick as you can, and get traffic in front. The best way to distract the goalie is to get in front of his eyes, right? If he can't see the play, he can't see where the puck's coming from. It makes it a heck of a lot harder to stop the puck. So if you're the Spirit, the message has to be, okay, we got to shoot the puck from any angle, from any area, just to kind of get that feel, get those sight lines down, and try and come up with, any sort of bounce that you can replicate, similar to the goal from Harmer there, and get back on the score sheet.
We talked about the experience on the Soo's back end, especially that top pair between Lucas Fisher and Chase Reed. On the Saginaw side of things, the youngsters getting ice time there as well. They're getting some first-round NHL picks coming at them, and they're not shying away from it. Look at Blake Barnes. Look at what Drew Roscoe's done. There is responsibility being given and handled well by the youngsters on the Spirit blue line.
And you look at really the shot breakdown. 4 of those shots came off when Shurigan didn't have a stick, and the Greyhounds just kept firing the puck in, getting it, winning those battles to the puck, and setting something up offensively. When they've had structure, when they've seen the 3-on-2 coming or the on-man rush coming or the dump and chase coming, they've done a really, really good job in their own end making the smart play. It's not always the play up ice. Sometimes you reverse it behind the net. Sometimes you just hang on for a second, let the forecheck, feel it out from your own end. And the young defense of the Spirit have come prepared with the depth of this Greyhound team. As we saw, the 4th line came away with their goal. Every line is, going to be on you quickly. And they've done a really good job of staying calm, kind of getting the feel for the game themselves, and making, especially the most important part, the smart first play that has led to a lot of good kind of shutdowns in their own end, keeping pucks off Shurigan. We know how tested he is all season long, right? So making those smart plays need to continue to happen, especially as we flip ends here and go period of the long change.
Well, things kind of broke open a little bit there at the tail end of the first period. 1-1 between Saginaw and the Sioux. We take a break. Let's take a look at the standings when we come back. Your out-of-town scoreboard, of course, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, but it's always fun to standings watch at this time of the year. We'll do that coming up after this.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go, Spirit.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Wild Wings, it is the most interesting and exciting time of the year. A 6-1 victory for the Ottawa 67s over Oshawa. An emphatic win there. Nick Whitehead, a goal and an assist. Philip Ekberg, a couple of goals, and Brock Chitteroni scored as well. And an important one for these two teams here in this game. Again, the Soo Greyhounds trying to hang on to home ice in the first round. We'll get to the standings in a second, but 1-0 London, whom they're in a race for between the 4 and the 5 seed. Caden Hawkins has the lone goal there. 1-1 between Niagara and Brantford. Alexander Haig for the Ice Dogs. Merrick Van Acker for the Bulldogs, his 45th goal of the season. 1-0 the Flint Firebirds have the advantage over the Owen Sound attack. We'll tell you why that's important. Darian Anderson has his 19th goal of the season. Nathan Aspinall picked up an assist on that, chasing down Nikita Klepov for the scoring title. Riley Clark and Emil Hemming have the goals in a 1-1 tie between the Colts and the Frontenacs. And 1-0, Tyler Challenger has Sarnia up to the advantage over the Erie Otters. Your Western Conference standings picture, where it sits right now. The Soo Greyhounds have a point on London. That means home ice in their opening round series. The Greyhounds were 5-1 from GFL Memorial Gardens in the playoffs over their last 2 trips. Saginaw in 8th right now. They would meet the Kitchener Rangers. They want to chase down Owen Sound. They want to chase down Guelph. They can still finish as high as 6th place. And that is why these next 3 games are so important for both of these hockey clubs. Your out-of-town scores and a look at the standings brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. We take a break and we come back to a tied second period after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at GarberChesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
The Ramsey Show.
3 years I have been paying for my parents' mortgage and home equity, $3,000 a month.
Why can't they pay their mortgage?
It was supposed to be temporary. They currently can't afford it. They want to stay in their house.
And what's the house worth?
$710.
And what do they owe on it?
$200.
They need to sell it and buy a house for $500,000 it's paid for. You are trying to make their fantasy world exist, and it's not sustainable.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 9 on WSGW. This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Assisted on Carson Harmer's 18th goal of the season to get the Spirit on the board late after the game's first goal from Jordan Sharon. The season series split down the middle at 3 games apiece. They'll meet again 2 nights from now in the Soo. Let's see what happens in the middle 20 here. Martin on top of Harmer for the opening face-off of the second. Then Yosa chases down Jacob Kluche, and it's back in behind the Spirit net. Maybe a little miscommunication between Barnes and Glavin on who's going to play that puck. And a heavy check from Hayes to Papoy. Glavin tries to pull it away from Jeremy Martin. Brady Martin, rather, that shot tipped on goal and back out the other side. After a collision in front, this one flipped all the way back out to center. Lucas Fisher off the wall. Hayes to Brady Martin, the Sioux captain. Cut off there by the Saginaw goal scorer, Harmer. Back around, this is Josh Glavin. That hit a Sioux player up high. Looks like Kluche will check his mouth to make sure all the teeth are in the same place. Chase Reed, after shrugging off Brody Papoy, down the wing he goes. Knocks Blake Barnes back onto his wallet. This is Reed up high. Back down low to the corner. Sharp angle try, shoulder to side by Shurigan on the try from Winkelhofer. The rebound into the circle, then back down below the goal line. Kluche has been out for a long time for Saginaw. McKenzie reaches in for the Sioux. Bouncing puck to the corner. Justin Kluche tries to pull it out. Makes short work of that puck. Lost an edge though. Blake Barnes lays the shoulder into him, and that one back out to center. Could have been a dangerous opportunity for the visitors. And Gretich has to spin it back in from center. A little triple hit there from Glavin once, twice, and the third may have been by a high stick. 18:33 to go in the period.
Taking a look at Brody Papoy down there. Behind the play, it looked like a high stick right there. Great job by our crew getting a look at it. Brady Martin's stick right there. Got him up high, no call. Everyone missed it as the play was headed the other way. But he definitely drew blood, so the Greyhounds get away with what would have been a double minor penalty.
Brody Papoy gets some attention from the training staff on the Spirit bench. Stays a 1-1 game, stays a 5-on-5 situation as this puck is back out to center ice. Callum Croskery angled back in by Brady Smith. That laid down off the skate of Levi Harper. Fitzgerald taps it back for Smith. Backhanded pass, fought off by Shurigan. He had to paddle it aside on that broken play. James Go out to center. Dima Zhilkin can just play it in on the backhand. Evans around. Croskery there. Met by Saginaw's Zhilkin. Back to Evans. Levi Harper seals off the boards. Laus gets in front of him. Kicked it up. Kept alive by Barabanov off the wall. Barabanov wanted to step to the middle. Finds Klepov. Waits. Can he outweigh George? Lost the puck on the side of the net. And a whistle on a puck that was perhaps misplaced. Zhilkin and Croskery tie up afterwards.
Yeah, early whistle. They lost sight of the puck, but Klepov was certainly still banging away at it there. It was not covered up. See, Laus came over as well, another great rookie in this league, and that puck very much alive in that sequence.
Couple of decent looks for Barabana, or for Nikita Klepov, rather. Again, trying to chase down Cole Perfetti for the rookie goal scoring record. And as we said during the out-of-town scoreboard, Nathan Aspinall has an assist against Flint, or in the Flint game, I should say. Up to 91 points on the season to Klepov's 92. Winkelhofer off the D-zone face-off, lays it around the boards. Harper was there. Barabanov for Klepov. Spins back up to the top of the zone and sends it down. Or Barabanov went to tap that out of midair. James Go, met by Andrew. Puck sent back out to center. There is Klepov. Levi Harper is Klinka Gretzky gold medalist teammate with Team USA. That was, of course, before they ever got the pull-on Spirit sweaters. A little bit of a different shade of red, white, and blue as Andrew tries to bowl on through. No call. Dima Zhilkin tries to skate it out. Christopher Brown, a steal. Sharon sends it high. And off the glass, it's kicked aside by Zhilkin. Brown blew a tire behind the play, and that almost ended up creating a goal for the Sioux. Mignosa into the skates of Zhilkin. Net by Martin, stolen by Klepov, and then sent back in by Zhilkin. Travis Hayes is there. Off the end boards. Lucas Fisher up for Hayes with speed down the near side. Can't get a shot through James Go's stick. So Hayes leaves it there for Martin. Wanted to go back in front. Off the skate of Storch, kept alive by Reed. This is Fisher. Swept towards the net. Off two Spirit players. Then it's Martin. Sharp angle try. Pad save Shurigan. And the rebound all the way out to center. Reed finds Mignosa. Sent back ahead where it's intercepted by Hanrahan. Can't find Liam Storch. This is Reed for Travis Hayes. Back to Chase Reed. Fumbled on the pass back looking for his captain. And so it comes all the way back out to the Sioux blue line where it's Fisher against Geldart. Chase Reed up for Martin. Off his stick. James Go back to Geldart. Wanted to shovel it in. Neck guard falls off and Chase Reed is there. Geldart tries to strip Fisher. Gets a healthy couple of whacks there. Storch trying to help the battle for the puck. Geldart pays a price. And this is Hayes coming back the other way for the Sioux. Brady Martin. Backhanded pass. Can't be settled by Mignosa. He'll fire it back around. Jensen Geldart up the near side. Hit by Justin Kluche, so no more puck there. Evans off the boards. Almost 5 minutes gone here in the second period. Still 1-1. As McKenzie comes back in with Kluche. The return pass. Nicely watched by Saginaw's Barnes. Now Jeremy Martin tries to send it back down low, but Josh Glavin there to intercept for the Spirit. Blake Barnes up for Bodie Stewart. Callum Croskery cut him off. So the pass back to Evans. Then up the near side, Jeremy Martin. Laid it ahead into the equipment of Glavin. Evans fires that one in. The referee had to get out of the way of that one. Close call for McNichol there. He emerged unscathed. Glavin up the wall. Stewart. And then back for Glavin. He'll try again. Here's Stewart a second time down the wing. Holds off Evans. Looking in front. The one-handed pass. Too far behind the left-handed shooting Najum. Noah Louse. Turned in by Fitzgerald. Saginaw's Harmer. Over to Valeris. That pass doesn't get out. Here's Louse off the steal. Greyhounds in the middle of a change. Otherwise, they could have had 5 bodies skating downhill towards the Spirit net. Winkelhofer for Pengrenich. Angled back in by Louse. Valeris gets tied up with a Greyhound who slides into the net. The puck, meanwhile, on the near side. Carson Harmer for Valeris. Brady Smith has to go back to the Greyhound bench. Heavy check there for Xander Valeris, and then it's back behind the Spirit goal. Mined out by Fitzgerald. A spinning shot. Hits Shurigan in the foot. Here's Winkelhofer. Another try. That one blockered aside. Drew Roscoe comes up to the loose puck. And the Saginaw defenseman twists his way into the offensive zone where Najum will help it get back around. Sharon up the near side looking for Carson Andrew. Josh Glavin holds him to the wall. Christopher Brown there against Barabanov. Disrupted by Klepov. Zhilkin helps the steal. Here's Klepov with speed against Winkelhofer. Right to the net. Shoots. Saved by George. The rebound lays down right in front of the crease. Carson Andrew back for the Sioux. They've got numbers now. Twisted in for Brown and laid in behind. Waiting for it is Fisher. Gets there ahead of Klepov, who steals. Puck too far ahead of him. He'll reach and send a pass over to Barabanov. Wanted to return that to Zhilkin, who will stretch. And they are on a delayed offside here. So that allows Reed to skate it back the other direction. Fired in off the glass after Zhilkin went after him. Shoulders James Go. Klepov can't contain Reed. Steps the puck. Step right back. Martin fakes the shot. Drives wide. Lost the handle. Back to the corner. Tries to go between the legs of James Go, who dumps him off the puck. Barabanov. The pass for Klepov. Trying to shoot that one in for Zhilkin. That has worked in the past for this line. But the angle not quite right, and certainly not enough gas left in the tank for Dima Zhilkin, so it's an icing. 12:33 to go, second period. Still a 1-1 game. Goaltenders having some fun here in the second. We're back after this.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. 1-1 Spirit. D-zone face-off off the icing from Igor Barabanov. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Snevice, and Jack, a very calculated icing from 14 in blue.
Yeah, you could tell there wasn't really much to it for him. He knew what the time and situation was. You were going to get the media timeout whistle anyway, so not only do you get a rest, as that line was out there for a while, but they can start a new shift essentially out of the break there, and there's a reason he was voted one of the smartest in the Western Conference.
Coach's poll just came out yesterday. Among the smartest in the conference and the best playmaker. Here's Martin, though, after Reed, and that shot off the knob of Shurigan's stick and out of play. Best puck-handling goaltender, though. Wouldn't exactly call that puck handling. Did go off the stick and out of play. That's just a strong save. 12-19 to go here in the second period.
There's Chase Reed bearing down as well. He certainly had his name voted plenty in the poll as well. Second best skater. Third best shot, and you saw it right there, but Shurigan was ready for it.
This puck back out to center. There is Reed. Best offensive defenseman and second best defensive defenseman in the Western Conference. So a well-rounded individual, you can say, and he'll get the hands up high on Levi Harper. He's got something to say to the referee. Here's Papoy. That shot goes wide on the glove side of George. Heavy chance off the glass. Mignosa. That goes off Carson Harmer. The bouncer out towards center ice. Here's Reed. Tries to drag that one back from Harmer. Takes a shot. That goes wide. Martin's got to settle it down from his shin guards to the ice. Here's the pass on through to the weak side. Croskery in the circle. There's quite the battle in front of Shurigan between Hayes and Harper. Mignosa down the boards. Martin for Pangrenich. Fired back around. This is Jeremy Martin out of the corner for Brady Martin. In behind the Saginaw net. Martin taps the brakes. Sandwich between Harmer and Go. He escapes the situation. Pangrenich over to Croskery. Back to Pangrenich. Looking for a seam. Finds the boards. Then Brady Martin gets hammered by Harmer. He'll take this puck. Try to backhand it out. He goes off the official. And that puck into the penalty box. Off a deflection, they'll say. So no penalty. 10:59 to go in the period.
Well, this game's really kind of has one speed to it right now. It's been up and down, and then the Sioux kind of hems the Spirit into their own end for a little bit. Saginaw has done a great job of limiting the damage. Hits like that in the defensive zone from Carson Harmer. Just 13 shots for the Greyhounds for as much zone time as they have. That's not a lot, and I'm sure head coach John Dean would like more. But again, now we're in the second period of long change, and the longer the Sioux can apply this pressure, the harder it becomes for the Spirit to get the changes. You wonder how fatigue, if at all, sets in later on in this period.
Drew Roscoe after a D-zone face-off off the glass. Looks like they'll have to do it again here, courtesy of that icing. 10:52 in the period. They do it again. We had a 6-0 loss for Saginaw last time the Greyhounds were here in this building. 37 saves courtesy of George. They've only managed one shot here in this second period. As we mentioned, Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters shots on goal at 13-4. And an offensive zone face-off for the Sioux, potential for another. Instead, Roscoe around for Jones and then Storch at center. Good stick lift by Justin Kluchin. McKenzie to Fisher to the wall. No icing. As Jones knocked Martin off that opportunity. This is McKenzie around in front. Jones handles. One hands it there for Hanrahan, who can't poke it past Chase Reed. Off the skate of McKenzie. Jones for Roscoe. Off the near side. Wanted Storch. That puck a little too shallow off the boards. Geldart in a battle for it with McKenzie. Roscoe to the air. Stays alive, one-handed by Fisher, and a hand pass as McKenzie comes up with it. 10:15 to go in the second, and this is the most stop and go we've seen this game so far.
Saginaw, the break there. They need a line change. Now you get the top line back out there as well. And Klepov, Barabanov, and Jilkin not on the score sheet yet per se, but they've had a couple of really, really nice plays to set up scoring opportunities that have been few and far between. This is obviously the line for the Spirit that if you're looking for a go-ahead goal, you'd rely on these three.
Collision in behind the Spirit net. Barabanov just feathers it out to center. Klepov going to steal. He has to catch up to it. So no opportunity for a breakaway, but he's the first man to the puck. Hit by Evans. And the angle of the net used there by Fitzgerald to get it back out to neutral ice again. James Go, crunched by Louse. Taken down. And a penalty is upcoming. To Louse for that hit. And Jilkin's got a thing or two to say. 9:45 to go in the second. We'll have what looks to be another IBEW Local 557 power play for the Spirit.
So here you go, fresh off a top line change. Just a little behind the play.
There might be the potential for a slew footing penalty here, as it's a little tough to see through the sea of bodies. It looks like there's potentially a kick for Louse to the back of James Go's skates. Now we'll see what the actual, we'll see. There's only 2 minutes on the board right now. And there is not too much of a protest, because that'll be the best angle we get at it. Not too much of a protest from the Spirit bench. 9:45 here in the period. A little bit of motion from the knee, but they'll say just a 2-minute minor right now. And we have seen the standards and the way those slew footing penalties are handed out changed a little bit here. Again, there's the addition. You can make it a 4-minute double minor instead of making it an automatic 5. And Shurigan will handle this puck out to Levi Harper. Jilkin for Klepov. Off the boards and to the corner. That one poked away by Martin. Following on now, Barabanov up high. Kluche for Harper. Near side, Klepov. Goal line, Barabanov. Bumper, Kluche, perfect! Power play goal makes it 2-1.
This power play for the Saginaw Spirit is hard to stop, and you see why with passing plays like this. The 7th round pick of the Winnipeg Jets, the younger Kluche, says, I'll put that one quickly behind the blocker of Carter George before he ever expects it. Watch this, watch it. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3. And a laser goes high blocker side for the first lead of the night for the Saginaw Spirit in a gorgeous tic-tac-toe go-ahead goal here, midway point, second period.
Back in behind the net of Stefan Shurigan. The Spirit do take advantage of the power play as Jacob Kluche hits the 20-goal mark for the second consecutive season. Had 23 last year as Lucas Fisher sends it back around for Brown. Andrew. Then up the right side, Chase Reed gets through Valeris and back out the other way. Now for Fisher, the late man, takes a shot. That goes off a body in front, maybe the mask of Shurigan. Fisher behind for Andrew. Harmer. The boards are closed off by Fisher, so it's back down into the pie slice, and Xander Valeris will fire it away, but held at the line by Reed. This is Brown into traffic, saves Shurigan, doesn't know where it is. It's underneath the goal pads for a stoppage and a disagreement after the whistle.
Good response from the Greyhounds. You're down for the first time in this game. You're out shooting your opponent 15-5. And to come out of that first shift, a couple of nice chances that, again, Shurigan was ready for. There's not much Stepan Shurigan hasn't seen this year. Over 1,600 saves coming in, second in the OHL. He's quite literally seen it all, and he's going to see a potential onslaught here coming from the Greyhounds, who trail for the first time in this game.
Game 57 on the season for Stefan Shurigan. Became just the 5th Spirit goaltender to break the 3,000-minute mark, as he's played more than his fellow Russian counterpart Ivan Prosvetov back in 2019. This is fired back in. Got a vacated stick in the face-off circle. Josh Glavin has to be aware of that. Off the boards, Jeremy Martin on the steal for the Sioux. Kluche wheels it back around. Pangretich over to the wall, handles on his backhand. Forced off by Stewart. Hanrahan there. As Barnes wanted to let that go for Glavin. A little miscommunication again as this comes back up to the left point. Pangretich takes the shot. That one right on the laces for Bodie Stewart. He gets to the bench as quickly as he can. Kluche run off the puck by Geldar. That's all right. He was already turning it back into the Spirit zone. Klepov onto the ice. The puck on edge. So it escapes 98 in blue as Evans makes sure that Klepov gets a little taste for the glass. 7:42 to go in the second. And, well, a game of inches. That puck stays flat. There's a little more friction. Maybe it slows down for Klepov. No dice there.
Point number 93 now for the OHL leader in that category. He would be the first rookie in the OHL since little old Patrick Kane to lead the OHL in scoring as a rookie. He has been absolutely unbelievable, and certainly have a good feeling about his name being called in the first round of this summer's NHL draft.
Klepov at the mid-turn, the 16th ranked skater in NHL Central Scouting among the North American crop of players. Of course, here's Croskery between the dots. Back to Reed. For Croskery, then through. Nice pass to find Martin. Pad saved by Shurigan. He was off balance and a little off angle. He still makes the save. Bouncing puck at center. Croskery back in. Stick check by Geldar. Bouncer in front of Shurigan. Glavin calmly and carefully over to go. Off Hanrahan and out to center. Klepov, rather, 98 instead of 88, and he'll steal. And he'll find Barabanov towards the net. Slides and scores! Over the glove hand of George. Saginaw's got 3 unanswered and a 3-1 lead.
It's becoming the Klepov and Barabanov show, as it has so often this season for the Saginaw Spirit. Back-to-back setups for Klepov. Barabanov with an assist on the power play goal. Rips that one hole high to the glove side. 14th point the last 7 games for Igor Barabanov. Not many come easier than that. All sorts of room in front of George. Got him to go down early. Ripped it high to the glove. And that is it. One stunned Greyhound bench at this point in time. What a job by Saginaw to rally here these last few minutes and take the lead.
Igor Barabanov with 2 points tonight. Give him 14 in 7 games against the Greyhounds. And, well, we review for a potential offside, as the full officiating crew will be waved over to the scorer's table.
Now, it will be interesting as Barabanov, you saw him come into the play off of a line change. So where is he? Are they going to say Geldart's not off the ice yet?
So that is interesting. That is one of the more interesting scenarios we've seen.
And that is as close as you can get. Where is that right skate when that puck comes over the blue line?
Is Geldart fully off? Now, I don't know that they would give any trouble. Let's see if we can roll it frame by frame here, fellas. Puck's not in the zone yet. Geldart's skate is still on the ice. Let's let it go a little bit more. Is Barabanov in? So you're really tracking 2 players, as that might be the most telling tale right there. Barabanov in the zone. Both skates, and Klepov not quite. 7:03 to go here in the second period. That's our detective work. And the odds may say that this goal could be coming back. Good catch, Jack. Good catch by the fellas in the production room.
And no doubt about it. Huge call in this game for momentum for both sides. 6 shots on goal for the Spirit. 3 of them have found the back of the net, at least for now.
.703 to go. They'll say no. And the score goes back to 2. It was close. I mean, there are some offside calls that you kind of have a feeling when it happens. That one looked pretty innocuous, but proves to be, maybe an inch? 2 inches of Barabanov's heels in the offensive zone. And that's going to draw a negative reaction, but, you saw what we saw. Cut and dry, it stays 2-1. So back to a mere 13 points in 7 games for Barabanov in the season series, and they'll keep right on trying. Klepov wants to get it back. Shot gets blocked. Back in behind the Greyhound goal. This is Fitzgerald. Intercepted by Barabanov. Has Klepov in front, can't find him. And Greenwich, shouldered by Klepov. There's Fitzgerald. Intercept by Go. He gets tossed into the boards. Has to move away from Barabanov. Then it's Klepov in behind the net. And Greenwich pursues. Laus is on this puck. Trying to get it back now. Klepov. Smith. Hit by James Go. The puck stolen by Barabanov again. Winkelhofer ties him up. D-to-D pass here for the Sioux, and they're out. And that'll ramp off the linesman and stay in. Back in behind the Spirit net. Carson Andrew does what he can. Broken play. Settled down by Christopher Brown from the wall. Blocker save. Shurigan may have been going wide. That one onto the stick now of Igor Barabanov. 6 to go in the period. Jilkin can't get around Lucas Fisher. Collision in the St. Louis Blues second rounder. Had a pocket pick there by Jilkin. He gets it back to the point. Roscoe slides it back over. Jilkin looked like he wanted to get off. He'll say, okay, I'll stay on. Here comes Jilkin. Waits, pulls, and that one deflected out of play. 5:43 here in the second period. A disagreement afterwards. Dimas Jilkin was headed for the bench very nearly. Gave Saginaw a little bit more breathing room. Late second period. Tensions rising. The score 2-1 Saginaw. Back in a moment.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
Hi, this is Ryan Hanrahan, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center. Stays a 2-1 game for the Saginaw Spirit after that offside goal from Igor Barabanov. Sets him back to 28 on the year. Jack, we talked during the intermission report. Got to find a way to get more than 3 shots on goal that the Spirit had in the first. They're at 2. They found the back of the net, though, and hold a lead right now late in the period.
And it's been quality over quantity for Saginaw for sure here tonight. And you thought they had 3 goals on 6 shots before the offside call. So they've certainly picked their moments to shoot the puck. Trying to do a little bit more to get probably more quantity at this point of the game with a 2-1 lead, trying to get that third goal back. Puck broken up in the neutral zone. Quinn McKenzie has it stolen by Drew Roscoe. Winkelhofer trying to send that one towards the net, goes off the other side. And Greenwich turns and fires it back around. McKenzie following on. Taken into the boards by Roscoe. Popoy, a backhanded pass. Rides the boards for Penn Greenwich off of Harmer. Hit by Justin Cloutier. Jeremy Martin has a shoulder there for Graydon Jones, and McKenzie there. And a slip out for Cloutier. That shot broken up by Drew Roscoe. Reaches out, makes the play. Jones has it poked away by Martin. Greyhounds hemming Saginaw in. Jacob Cloutier now on it for the Spirit. Just poked out to neutral ice. A little handcuff from his brother, but they'll get out of it. Broken up by Harmer. Puck is reeled in. Jacob Cloutier. Spirit hit the line 4-on-2 with back pressure from the Sioux. Boy, the shot blocker saved by George, and it sets right down for him. As Popoy tried to use the screen in front and did it almost perfectly. Now, a little hack and whack back and forth between Popoy and McKenzie. No penalties yet. That could change soon. This is a really, really smart shot from Brody Popoy. As you can see here, Kluche in front. He waits. Right there, he sees the eyes get taken away for Carter George and tries to go low to the blocker side. George was in great position to knock that puck down. But again, another high-quality shot on goal for the Spirit. Bit of an unusual bounce off the blocker of George, as that shot was labeled for just on that upper edge of the pad. George is able to control the rebound right down in front of him. 920 save percentage since arriving in Sault Ste. Marie at the trade deadline. Cost the Owen Sound attack, or cost the Soo Greyhounds rather, 7 draft picks to get him. Chase Reed off the defensive zone faceoff. Long stretch pass, can't be handled by Mignosa. Levi Harper darts away from a couple of Greyhounds, and Klepov gives it right back to him because Brady Martin was right in his grill. Carter George handles this puck for Fisher. Turned over. Harper, this shot deflected off Barabanov and wide. Brady Martin back in behind. Zhilkin, loose puck. Looking forward is Klepov. He comes away with it. Martin had to go back and pick up his stick. Here is Klepov. High in the zone. Takes a shot. Glove saved by George. As Zhilkin looks up at Fisher after the battle in front of the net. 4:06 to go in the period. Seems like almost every shift now, you're getting a reprieve in front of your own net for the Spirit when this top line's out there. They have been swarming in this second period. Have the one goal on the power play, thought they might have had another. And they're trying to get it back any way they can. 4:06 to go in this second period. Still a 1-goal lead for the Spirit. Jensen Geldart to take the face-off against Christopher Brown. We'll talk with Jensen Geldart coming up in the second intermission. More and more ice time for the Spirit rookies as we get close to playoffs, and they have handled the pressure well. Callum Croskery here for the Sioux. Pressure from Hanrahan forces a turnover. Greyhounds get it back out the center, though. So it's Jones to find another way in. Too far ahead of Geldart, who pursues Croskery. Hanrahan helps to force another turnover. That one poked away from Storch. Here comes Croskery for Sharon. Down the wing past Roscoe. Taps the brakes. Sharon keeps on going. Roscoe puts him into the boards. Sharon, third time's the charm. He gets away from Roscoe. And Storch. And backhands it in. Where Andrew can wheel it back around for Croskery. Pressure from Hanrahan. Jordan Sharon will send it back in behind the net of Shurigan as we approach the 3-minute mark remaining here in the second period. Loose puck for Liam Storch. He'll act as a buffer between Fitzgerald and Jones. Knocks that puck out of midair. Ryan Hanrahan just puts Evans into the wall in front of the bench. Kicks it back. Jones wanted Storch. Shouldered off that puck by Evans. This is Croskery. Off the penalty box doors and back in behind Shurigan. No icing. So Roscoe's got to move it quickly here for Jones. Short pass is picked up by Hanrahan. Saucer pass goes off the stick and above. Too far for Jacob Kluche. Now a turnover. Coming back the other way. Here's Lausen with Fitzgerald down the wing. Laus shoots in that one. Turned out by Shurigan. They have kissed the post too. Here's Popoy out to center ice. Icing here for the Sioux. It'll be whistled down. 2:28 to go in the second. And a close call for Noah Laus. It's a real veteran shot from Laus. Just a little bit of a twitch to his right. Try to get Shurigan off that near side post. And he got it with a blocker and then the post itself. But Saginaw almost caught in a bad line change. Relying on Shurigan right there to keep it a 1-goal game.
9 shots to 2 for the Sioux here in this period. And Jack, you think about how much the odd man breaks have been cut down by Saginaw right now compared to even the last time these two teams met, let alone way back at the beginning of the season. Kluche to neutral ice for Harmer. James Go looks for an option. Drills back to the top of the zone and sends it off the boards. Saginaw's last home game coming up on Saturday will be Older Age Player Appreciation Night. They'll honor James Go. Here comes Winkelhofer, stretching to stay onside with Smith, so Winkelhofer can hang on to the puck in the offensive corner. James Go separates him. Harmer gets it up to Brody Popoy, then the pass to the middle, Jacob Kluche. Kluche watched nicely there by Jeremy Martin. So the failed zone entry for the Spirit will bring about a line change. Here's Justin Kluche from McKenzie to the middle, to the back door. Martin can't turn it to the forehand. Shurigan may have gotten a piece, or somebody, as that puck came on through the goal mouth. Chase Reed separated from the puck by Zhilkin. James Go gets a little poke there. Zhilkin and Levi Harper get Saginaw out of danger. The bouncer at center can't be settled by Klepov. It takes a hard left turn in towards Carter George. So Reed will handle here in the final minute 13 of the second period. Lucas Fisher kicks it ahead for Martin. Then Fisher hopping up on the rush, drops it back, the shot, sent out the near side. And off the boards, Klepov takes a couple of looks and throws it out into space. He knew James Go was there, but at the end of a long shift, so Go will settle for forechecking. This is Travis Hayes. The Greyhounds are offside as Fisher hopped up before the Greyhounds were fully in. 52 seconds left in the period.
Yeah, that was a tired James Go, too. He wasn't even able to get off, so maybe a little bit of a gift there going offside for the Greyhounds. There's a great chance in front. Greyhound bench was calling for a penalty. Not really sure there is anything, although maybe Klepov behind the play got a stick in there.
And that is a great sweeping poke check by Stepan Shurigan, getting just a piece of the blade of Martin, not even really the puck. As this puck sent back in, Lucas Fisher poking after it. Barabanov. Zhilkin throws it in front, calmly guided away by the stick of George as Fisher fires Klepov down onto the ice. Here comes Brady Martin in with Reed. They left the puck behind. Zhilkin for Barabanov. Wanted the one touch of the head for Klepov. And Yosa gets back off of Barabanov. 25 in the period. And Yosa back the other way. Rolling puck handled by Glavin. Then up for Klepov, who braces for the contact. Then Barabanov with 15. Cuts to the middle. Finds Glavin the shot. Forced away by George. A right shoulder save as the puck bounces back out to center. Barabanov sends it back in. Glavin had, as we have an icing here, on a trip back up to GFL Memorial Gardens earlier this season. Josh Glavin had what would have been his first OHL goal recalled on an offside call. Really solid scoring chance there for Glavin on Carter George, and it looked quite similar to that particular play. 1.6 left in the second period, and there's the opportunity there.
And you got a tired Nikita Klepov out there right now. He is taking his time getting back to the play. 1.6 seconds to go. If you're Barabanov, you might just want to try and fall on this one.
Barabanov ties it up, and Dima Zhilkin in the right place to make sure that puck ends up in the corner. Was about to say, maybe expect Zhilkin to be lined up in the slot for that one, but no, clearly he was in the exact right spot. 2-1, Saginaw has the lead after 20 minutes of play. They were outshot 9-6 in the period, but Jacob Pluche had to follow the lead of his buddy Carson Harmer. They've got Saginaw up to a 2-1 lead. We'll take a break. When we come back, Spirit rookie Jensen Geldart joins the program. Second intermission with Jensen coming up in a moment here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-sloped flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileFlatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileFlatRoofing.com.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is Christiana Malacata, your host of That's What She Said. This week, I'm joined by a good friend who has overcome a difficult childhood and is building her life up piece by piece. Mackenzie Furlow talks about growing up alongside addiction and mental health troubles, finding your identity, and building a village around you.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malacata. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday evenings at 6 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
The seventh meeting of the season. It's a one-goal contest. And as the Spirit approach playoff time, they need contributions from all over the lineup. Spirit rookie Jensen Geldart joins us down from ice level. Jensen, a very close season series, very close hockey game here so far. What have you seen through 40 minutes of play?
Yeah, I think we're doing a really good job of shutting down their top guys. Just good forecheck, good neutral zone. I think if we keep doing that, we're going to finish the night how we want to.
For a long portion of the season last year before you arrived, it was the story of Jacob Kluche and Carson Harmer were kind of the rookies that always teamed up on goals. For the last couple of weeks, that seems to have been the case for yourself and Ryan Hanrahan. What have the last couple of weeks of hockey felt like for you, and what is it about the way that you and Ryan Hanrahan go together?
Yeah, obviously we've had success in the past couple of weeks. You could call it luck, you could call it just good chemistry, but I feel like throughout the season we've, played more and more together. I think we're getting our confidence up. It's easy to play with him. He's such a skilled player. I think we read each other well, and I just think we're a good fit on our line with each other, and we talk all the time, so that makes it even better. I just think, we've been clicking, and hopefully we can continue to put some pucks in the net.
Well, you and all the rookies have been getting more and more ice time, getting more and more trust from the coaching staff in all kinds of situations as the season goes further along. How much does that help the confidence to say, or to feel like when you get thrown on there in an important situation, that you are kind of gaining that trust here in your first season?
Obviously you're always trying to do everything you can to gain your coach's trust, and it's always a good feeling when he calls your name to put you in an important situation. It's a good feeling. It lets you know that you're doing the right things, and I'm just going to try and keep doing that and keep building trust between me and Laz.
Jensen, 20 minutes here in this third period coming up. It's a one-goal contest right now. It's the easiest question, the most obvious question, but what are you guys thinking going into the third period?
Obviously, we're just, thinking, close it out strong. Don't give them any chances. They do have some skilled players. Just keep it tight. Get pucks out when we need to. Don't make too many mistakes. Obviously, mistakes will happen, but just play a clean, simple, hard game, and we'll close it out.
Jensen, appreciate the time. Good luck in the third.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Jensen Geldart, 2-1 right now. The rookies becoming more and more massive parts of this hockey club here going into the postseason. 2-1 right now. We'll see what they can come up with here in the third. But first, some highlights. We'll bring Jack back into the conversation coming up in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Sebring factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Century 21 Signature Realty also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
It's time for your intermission report from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Here's Dylan Clark.
Right, some close calls. Callum Croskery here for the Sioux. Brady Martin gets a really good shot on a laterally moving Stepan Shurigan. He's made 16 saves in this hockey game. That was among the best. That one he gets a piece of and a little kiss of the goalpost. Jacob Kluche for Brody Popoy as the Spirit trying to get some chances back the other direction. Carter George has only seen 9 shots so far in this game. That was the biggest save of the period. Klepov to Barabanov to Kluche into the back of the net on a power play goal. It usually only works that well in practice. 20th of the season for Jacob Kluche would make it 2-1 Saginaw. And they thought they struck again seconds later. And a goal that would prove to be called back for an offside. Igor Barabanov thought he had his 29th of the year. He was the man that got into the zone just a little bit early. So the goal comes off the board, and the score remains 2-1. Second intermission stats brought to you by Raymond. The Spirit were outshot 9-6 in that second period. 17-9 in the game in total, and the power play goal from Jacob Kluche is the difference maker right now. Bring it back up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark, Jack Snevice. And Jack, let's go back. We said more shots in the second, had 3 in the first, 6 in the second period. It's not an absurd amount, but you mentioned maybe quality over quantity.
It was quality over quantity, and I was very surprised off the overturned goal call. You'd think, okay, for the Greyhounds, this is a boost of momentum, right? We just thought we were down 2 goals. How did this happen? It was Saginaw who really ramped things up. They had a few shots there at the end of the period. It was the top line, of course, getting it done. Klepov, Barabanov, Jokin, you name it. They really elevated their game, got more pucks at least to the net, looking for those shot opportunities. Eventually, they started connecting toward the end of that period, and it led to, obviously, 1 goal in the power play, another goal that was called back. It just feels like anytime the Greyhounds get any sort of momentum or any sort of chances, onslaught down at the other end, Saginaw's right there with the response right now. I've been really impressed through 40 minutes for the younger Saginaw Spirit and how they've kind of answered. Big reason why they had the lead right now.
Well, in the Greyhounds in that second period, a couple of decent chances. We saw maybe the best that didn't find the back of the net was that Brady Martin opportunity. Again, his first opportunity to see the Spirit this season. Point per game player, he's been limited. This is just a 22nd appearance on the year due to some injuries. He looks like he's on the cusp of getting the Greyhounds back even in this game.
Well, he's number 5 pick in the NHL draft for a reason, right? So if they can get him back to 100% on where not only the Predators thought they had, but the Greyhounds, what they thought they had coming back, obviously a big piece of the World Junior team for Team Canada this year as well that just kind of hasn't been able to get his footing, hasn't really gotten into the flow of things quite yet, but you're seeing every shift, the size, the face-off ability, the speed, the skill, everything is right there. And if they can get him going, get that top line going, we talked about their depth, Brady Martin's a huge piece of the puzzle for the Greyhounds that they're looking to make a deep run in the OHL playoffs.
Well, and also named the best body checker in the Western Conference in the coaches' poll. So, again, when the offense maybe not coming the way you want it to, it's nice when you have the ability to kind of throw the body around and make a difference that way. But for the Spirit, we've seen the power play. 1 for 2 so far in this game. They've not been tested yet on the penalty kill. Probably can't be expected for that to continue into the third period. You have to expect the Greyhounds will find their way onto the man advantage at some point in the third.
Yeah, and the power play has been a big part of the success, right? I mentioned in the first intermission the Coach Lansbury during Coach's Corner. He talked about if you can win special teams, that's almost a 1-0 lead. That almost translates to a single goal throughout the course of the game, and right now it has translated, right? I agree to your point. You can't expect it to continue. It's been a physical game, 7th meeting between these two teams. Something's going to boil over at some point, right? But for now, Saginaw's doing a great job. This is how you win as a lower seed in the OHL playoffs, and they're treating it as such right now. The Greyhounds chasing down home ice, the Spirit chasing down kind of who they're going to play among the best of the best in the Western Conference. Saginaw's doing all the little things right. They're not taking penalties. They're not turning the puck over. They're getting pucks out of the blue paint as soon as they can, and they're capitalizing on their scoring opportunities. It's the recipe for how you have the underdog, the upset happen this time of year, right? And through 40 minutes, Saginaw's done all those little things right to have a 2-1 lead. very curious where we go the next 20 minutes.
Margins are narrow right now. 1-goal game, 2-1 going into the third period. The Spirit have the advantage. We'll take a break. We'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard when we come back. It's presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. That's coming up next.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to plane surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
Recognize that sound? That's your heart racing when law enforcement catches you for drunk driving. Truth is, it's happening more and more these days. Cops are cracking down all across America. If you drive drunk, it's more likely than ever you will get caught and you will be arrested. So don't take any chances. If you're drunk, do not get behind the wheel. And maybe you could avoid feeling like this. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Into playoff time almost. 6-1, the victory for the Ottawa 67s as they would like to threaten for the top spot in the OHL's Eastern Conference. And in the game that is still going on, 5-1, the London Knights over the Guelph Storm right now. That was a closer game last time we spoke. Caden Hawkins, William Nickel, and Donnie Themis, Ryan Brown, and Jackson Cover to the one Ilya Shabinsky goal for the Guelph Storm. We'll show you how that impacts the standings coming up here in a little bit. The Brantford Bulldogs up 2-1, a pair of Merrick Van Acker goals on the Niagara Ice Dogs. 3-2, Owen Sound and Flint, a potential first-round meeting. Nicholas Sikora, Caden Taylor, and Max DeLille. The Owen Sound goals, Xavier Tessier and Darian Anderson for Flint, the higher-seeded Flint Firebirds. 3-2. Kingston over Barrie right now. Kieran Durbin, Alex McLean, and Riley Clark, the goal scorers for the Fronts. And a 2-1 lead between the two teams in the West, eliminated from postseason contention. Liam Beamish and Tyler Challenger to Luke Plant for the Erie Otters. Your standings right now in the Western Conference, and they will only be relevant for the next little bit as it looks like the London Knights could have 2 more points in their game against Guelph, which would mean this third period is even more important for a Soo Greyhounds team that would like to have home ice in the first round against them coming up in the playoffs next week. Flint, 93 points. They want to catch up to the Windsor Spitfires. That looks to be tough right now as they trail Owen Sound, as we said. And again, the Spirit, if the Attack win, they won't be able to track them down for 7th place right now. The math is tight, both in the 6th, 7th, and 8th place portions of things. And as the Rangers have locked up first in the conference, who will be the 2nd seed? Will it be Windsor? Will it be Flint? We'll see. Lots of questions to answer coming down the stretch here in the final week of OHL action. Your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. We've got a third period to attend to. 2-1. Saginaw's got the lead. Can they hang on? Can the Greyhounds battle back? Third period coming up next.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Mark Tonello of the Michigan DNR on the walleye egg take operation on the Muskegon River. Then Matt Leffler from the Reese Adventure Club and Franklin Hayes of the Michigan Wildlife Council. In our second hour, Bob Hines of Central Coast Angling, plus Brian Roll from the DNR. And in hour number 3, we're talking turkey hunting with Greg Abbas of A-Way Outdoors. Listen Saturdays at noon and Sunday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
Hi, this is Joe, and this week on Generating Gratitude, we'll talk to a guy who beat 35 years of addiction and is grateful today. We'll also talk to a parent of an autistic child and their special needs and challenges this week on Generating Gratitude.
Generating Gratitude, Saturday mornings at 7 and Sunday evenings at 5 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com. This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
They have a 2-1 lead over the Sioux, despite being outshot 17-9 in that second period. Jacob Kluche's power play goal was the only marker in it. Saginaw is the second best come from behind team in the OHL this year. They have 9 victories when starting the third period down. The only team that has more has 10, and they are down going into this one. The Soo Greyhounds have 10 victories when they enter the third period trailing, as they do right now. No carryover penalties or power plays, though, as Travis Hayes seems to have broken his stick on Brody Popoy. That may change here. Did Popoy have any influence on that? Brady Martin would like a call. He might have a case. Travis Hayes has a new stick. Brody Popoy and Hayes will get a lesson or a discussion with both referees here. Armour against Martin for the opening draw here in the third. A bouncing puck. And is settled down and chased by Mignosa to be backhanded into the Spirit end. Right in front of the Greyhound bench. A delayed call comes against the Spirit. It was on Jacob Kluche. George is at the bench. The puck is offside as Fitzgerald brought it in. It's going to be a roughing call against Jacob Kluche.
Well, we thought we might see a Soo Greyhound power play at some point. I didn't expect to see it almost basically 10 seconds into the period was when it happened. You could see Kluche behind the play. Might lose it there, but he held on for way too long on Marco Mignosa. McNichol quick to throw his arm up, so here we go. A Greyhound power play that's middle of the pack in the OHL, but even better on the road by about 3%. 7th best away power play in the OHL, and a chance to tie this game up early in the third period.
First Stormaster Exteriors penalty kill here for the Spirit. 17.5% of the season. Martin to the corner, then Jeremy Martin. Lucas Fisher. Cross ice. Reed. Low for Mignosa. As the two Martins are in front of the net. Reed. Now Fisher. Chase Reed over. No one-timer for Mignosa. Jeremy Martin scores. Mignosa makes the play. Martin finishes it off the post and in. It's 2-2 on the power play.
First goal in 5 games for Jeremy Martin, number 27 on the season. And the perfect time for it. Glove side from the slot. Great passing by the Greyhounds on the power play. Sure, again, you see how deep in his crease he was, unable to get to the edge of the paint in time. Great passing all the way around and a great start to this third period for the Soo Greyhounds.
Back from center, Nikita Klepov sends it in. Chase Reed and Marco Mignosa have the assists. Reed's first point back in action after a 17-game absence. And here comes Carson Andrew. That'll be whipped up and over the Spirit bench into the crowd. That puck stuck to the stick for a little bit longer than he would have liked. 18:50 to go in the third. That'll get a quick stoppage here and some fresh bodies for the Soo Greyhounds.
So now how do you respond if you're the Saginaw Spirit? Minute 10 in this third period, you came up with a 1-goal lead just like that before you could even really blink, before fans could get back in their seats. It's 2-2. Just the 9 shots on goal for Saginaw. We've talked about the quality over quantity. At some point, you got to try and put your foot on the gas and up the quantity just a little bit. Keep Carter George on his toes.
Near side looking for Fitzgerald. It goes down as an icing. That'll move things all the way back into the offensive zone. And a try for Klepov, Zhilkin, and Barabanov in their favorite neighborhood. Barabanov had the goal called back on the offside call halfway through this game, back in the second. He'll take this face-off against Brady Smith. Bouncer comes back. Zhilkin chops after it. It'll settle down for Klepov. Looking in front of the net. Picked that by Winkelhofer in front for Zhilkin. Stumbling. Can't get a shot away. Pangredich saw to that. Comes around to the near wall. Levi Harper. A little tap off the boards, but Brady Smith there for the Sioux. Lots of time for Winkelhofer. Put it right onto the stick of Zhilkin. Then Klepov. Then it's Barabanov. Chased away by Pangredich. A little stick there from Igor Barabanov. He gets away with that'll fire it in. Now a stretch pass. Smith sends it wide on the glove hand side of Shuri. Had a partial breakaway. Igor Barabanov. As Fitzgerald closes off his check on go. This is Zhilkin. Behind the back pass. And neither Harper nor Barabanov can get to. And that pass does not connect from deep in Sioux real estate. Callum Croskery flexes the stick in frustration. That'll send the face-off all the way down to our left again.
Feels like there's been more whistles in the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds of this third period than we had the entire first 40. You can tell it's getting tighter down there, right? Stakes are higher now in a 2-2 game. Talked about the intermission, that playoff feel. Everyone's game being elevated just a little bit more, and this game is a perfect appetizer for what's coming next week in the OHL.
Offensive zone draw, one back by Geldart to Hanrahan. Spins back to the boards and lays a puck that's too far for Liam Storch. Croskery on it for the Sioux. Sharon, stretch pass for Andrew. From blue to blue. Drew Roscoe stood in his way. Jensen Geldart comes back. Then for Graydon Jones. Christopher Brown on him. Ryan Hanrahan just angles it to the middle. Storch is one-on-one against Croskery. Forced to the wall. Storch cuts back. Off the boards. Roscoe from the point. Gets some room and sends it down for Ryan Hanrahan. And off the wall again, Roscoe turns it back around. This is Jensen Geldart. Up from the skates of Jones, then over to Roscoe. Drop back off for Geldart. That pass goes off a skate. Stays in play. Sharon dumps it back down low. Croskery pursued by Storch. Spencer Evans on it for the Sioux. He gets the puck out of the zone. Right back onto the tape of Jones. There for Geldart. Spins into the offensive end. Can't get through Evans. Hanrahan on the late puck. There's a pass to the middle looking for Kluche. Jacob Kluche to the top of the zone. Feeds it through. Glavin just shovels it to the corner. Geldart gets off in the Spirit. Can't complete the line change. Brady Martin kicks it to the boards. Hayes finds Mignosa. Top line on for the Sioux. Martin hauled down by Harmer. Play continues as it's back around for Barnes. Up to Jacob Kluche. Hits center red. Lost the handle. Into the skates of Fisher. Greyhounds go off the glass. Glove down by Papoy. Spinning back. Looking for a trailer. Finds Josh Glavin to the circle. Throws it in front off of Buddies. And a save made by George as it popped into the air. Marco Mignosa to center. Rolling puck back in behind Shurigan. As Harmer and Mignosa tie up. Hayes is without a stick. Jacob Kluche goes to the air. And it's too far ahead of Brody Papoy. Justin Kluche now. Off the stick of Brady Martin. Settled down for Nikita Klepov. Cross ice pass for Barabanov. He's onside. Lost an edge though in the circle. Chase Reed, who had an assist on the equalizer, 2-2. 15:35 to go in this third period, thanks to that power play goal from Jeremy Martin. Quinn McKenzie tries to move this around James Go in front. Under the stick of Levi Harper, so it's handled by Barabanov. That pass does get to Dimas Jilkin, one of the soft touch of the blue line. Instead, the Greyhounds poke it away. Here comes McKenzie. Sends it on through, intercepted by Barabanov. Knows that he's got some time, wanted to find Klepov. Winkelhofer jumps into intercept. And it's back on now for Jeremy Martin. Ducks down the wing. Forced in behind the net by Levi Harper. Quinn McKenzie there for puck support. Moved off by James Go. Back in front looking for Martin. Barabanov wrestles with him. Martin sends it back around. Winkelhofer at the right point. All kinds of traffic in front. They'll let a puck into it. The pad saved by Shurigan. Now this is Martin to chase it down at the point. Pangrenich, near side. One-timer saved by Shurigan off Winkelhofer. Smith tries to get after it. This is Dimas Jilkin on it for Saginaw. Stick in the midsection. He still is able to battle through and get it in deep. Nice little one-hopper glove by Carter George. Up to Fitzgerald now. Then back in. Noah Laus, the man in front, was tied up. Smith, thanks to Hanrahan, has got it back the other direction off the boards, looking for Gelba. Fitzgerald, near side. Taken by Saginaw's Valeris. Roscoe, little hesitation, lofted to the air. Hanrahan can't jump up and glove it down. This is Laus at center. Falling down, but they move the puck. Drew Roscoe with Hanrahan breaking. Roscoe slides it across, read well by the stick of Evans, and deflected out of danger for the Sioux. Saginaw's first two picks in this year's OHL draft nearly link up. Roscoe and Hanrahan, and Ryan Hanrahan will settle back to the bench as he deflects it in. Carson Andrew for the Sioux. And an assist on the game's opening goal. Weaves in, drops it back. Christopher Brown, pocket picked by Brody Papoy. Rolling puck up the near side as he needs his line mates to come on. Papoy jams it in. Lucas Fisher on it for the Sioux. 6.5 gone here in the third. Only goal off the stick of Martin here in the period. And it did come off of the perhaps easily predicted power play. Jacob Cloutier finding Josh Glavin. Then off the boards, Brody Papoy. Cut to the middle. Nice move and a pass. Picked up off the boards from Harmon. Now Glavin just pokes at it. Settled down for Cloutier down low. Back to Josh Glavin. Takes a shot into traffic, knocked down. It goes off of Chase Reed, then for Sharon. Laid up at center ice. This is Josh Glavin. For Jacob Cloutier. Gets it back after Brown pawed it aside, and Carter George will drop it back for Chase Reed. Long stretch without a whistle here in this third period. 3-1 the shots for the Sioux in this final frame. Levi Harper back behind his own net, pocket picked by Hayes after they force a turnover. Menyoso walks out, that's off the goalpost, rebound wide as well. Levi Harper away from the stumbling Hayes. Pangrenich keeps it alive. Dimas Jilkin and Levi Harper team up. They can't get it out off the boards. Menyoso stumbles, poked at by Levi Harper. The defenseman leads the charge. Tries to split the defense. Has a stick under his hands, and Harper comes up to it in the corner. Taken away and moved out by Winkelhofer to Menyoso. Top line comes in again for the Sioux. They're shut down by James Go. And Greenwich and Barabanov. Jilkin cuts to the middle around Cloutier. Jilkin for Barabanov, waiting, gets it over. Klepov in his skates and a save made by George. Barabanov on the loose puck. A Greyhound is without a stick. Klepov down low, tries to send it on through, but it goes wide. And Martin, if he's got the legs, might have a chance. With James Go tracking back, Martin can't hang on to the puck. Brady Martin on the near side. Fired it back around. Cloutier is there. It gets past him. Evans down low. Justin Cloutier. That one disrupted by Nikita Klepov. He's got to go back to the Saginaw bench. As here comes Quinn McKenzie. Over the line, drives wide on Jones, inadvertently tapped towards the net. That might end up being the best thing as Shurigan can cover. And there's a disagreement in behind the Spirit net now. It'll take us into our first time out of the period. 11:28 left in it. It is a tie game now. 2-2 and some close calls. Back to Saginaw after this.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Welcome back to the Dow Event Center as the Soo Greyhounds gather around the whiteboard. They have accomplished step one here in this third period, a power play goal from Jeremy Martin to tie the game. Step two, as they outshoot the Spirit 20-11, is find another way to break on through. They outshot the Brantford Bulldogs in a 3-0 loss by a margin of 40-21. Largely outplayed Brantford, but could not come away with the win. They look to rewrite the script in this one. Back in behind Shurigan. Third line is on for Chris Lazary's Saginaw Spirit. Geldart and Hanrahan get it up. Bodie Stewart has been plugged in on the wing on this line instead of Liam Storch. And this is what the third line has looked like for the last couple of weeks for the Spirit. Storch was the outlier on this line in this game. Chase Reed into the wall. Deep in offensive territory for the Sioux. The Greyhound defenseman finds Fitzgerald. It'll leak back off his backhand. Then out to center for Croskery. Spirit send two forecheckers. They force a turnover in the neutral zone. Laid back in behind. Line change coming for the Spirit as Croskery and Reed will try to get out of the jam caused by Bodie Stewart. A lot of extra ice time here for Reed as he's played with Croskery and Lucas Fisher. Farmer's got to sort out this bouncing puck off the boards. Lucas Fisher is on with Spencer Evans here for the Sioux. Sharon finds Fisher. Tries to stretch wide. Back in behind the Spirit net, Drew Roscoe. Chases it down with Christopher Brown. Harmer off the glass. They escape. Jody Papoy catches up to it. Tries to get inside on Spencer Evans and does. Back below the goal line. Papoy's got to lay a shoulder as well. Puck back in front. Nobody in blue was there. Harmer for Jones. Point shot blocked. To the corner. Harmer's got to time it. Fisher comes over to him. Harmer to the boards and then Jones. Far side. Roscoe. Then Cloutier. As Papoy pays a price in front. Cloutier keeps it alive and guns it around. Jones tries to hop up on it as it stays alive. Finally, Christopher Brown comes over and it is a neutral zone puck for Papoy that was almost stolen by Sharon. Papoy sends it in. Lucas Fisher on it for the Sioux. 9.5 left in the third period. Fisher to the middle. Weaving. Finds a lane. Travis Hayes down low. Snaps a shot that's stopped by Shurigan. And the whistle there as Roscoe's got to chase off Travis Hayes.
We've talked about a playoff feel to this game, and it just continues to ramp up even more. Good look from Travis Hayes. Tough to find the back of the net from there. You got Roscoe draped all over you. Shurigan expecting it. Edge of the blue paint. That's the kind of looks you get this time of year, though. It's not all open ice. Great feed initially by Fisher. But again, the little things from Saginaw. Roscoe was there to interrupt. And back and forth we go. Each puck battle becoming more and more important as this game ramps up.
Greyhounds win the offensive zone faceoff. 26 points in 36 games in a Sioux Greyhound sweater for Lucas Fisher as that shot flutters wide off the stick of Chase Reed. Now here's Jilkin. Leading the counterattack, uses the light to protect the puck from Martin, gets it back from Nikita Klepov. Jilkin to the top of the zone on his backhand. Cuts back, knocked off the puck by Martin. Puck rescued by Harper. James Go can just jam it in. And Martin is there to settle things down for the Sioux. Chase Reed is back out. Off the boards, finds Hayes. Snaps it cross ice, broken up by Go before it can reach Brady Martin. This is Klepov. Into the offensive zone. Carries Reed with him. Cuts wide on Fisher. Hits the trailer. Harper scores! Through traffic over the shoulder of George. Levi Harper's got the go-ahead goal. It's 3-2.
And this play started all the way back at the Saginaw blue line with an incredible hand-eye coordination, bat of the puck from who else but Nikita Klepov. Enters the zone through three white sweaters and the offensive end, drops it for Harper. And another one on the powerful electric rookies on this Saginaw Spirit team. His 12th goal, an absolute rip. George never even saw it or thought it went in, but Saginaw reclaims the lead. 8:37 to go in the third period.
Fifth most points among OHL defensemen this season. The rookie Harper. Third in rookie scoring as well, and there's not a defenseman in sight on that list. Besides Harper, who's given Saginaw the 3-2 lead on their 12th shot of the game. James Go and Nikita Klepov get the assists. Klutze takes a high stick. And it will be a power play upcoming for the Soo Greyhounds. Now, Glavin is arguing follow-through. And we had a difference of opinion. I believe Hillary Brennan is the one that called the penalty. Mac Nichol may have indicated with his hands a follow-through. Now, again, we're trying to look at a handful of different places on the ice all at once. But we'll see if, as Glavin's trying to play that puck, that does look to be the case, a follow-through. And if we can get a wide angle, you might be able to see Mac Nichol at the edge of the frame wave his hand forward to indicate the follow-through. I don't believe we're going to get that look.
Definitely a shooting motion there from Glavin.
And that's what Glavin's frustration is. And the Greyhound frustration is they had a player take a puck off the beacon. Now you can see the blood on the ice from Justin Klutze. 8:17 left in the third. So we'll see what is sorted out here. And the iPad will come out to see if it is a 2 or a 4 or what exactly the ruling will be here.
Definitely a follow-through. You can tell the shot there, too. You think of the missed high stick. Brody Papoy got some blood drawn earlier in this game as well. So a couple of bang-bang high stick plays. But as unfortunate it is to have that happen, I have a hard time seeing this anything other than a follow-through.
8:17 left in the third. Greyhounds did score on their only power play opportunity in this game, and it was earlier in the period. And this could be quite the big swing here. 4 minutes on the man advantage. Again, the Greyhound power play coming into this game, 13th best in the OHL. They got 47 power play goals now. And they are the best come from behind architects in the OHL. Looking to see right now, is it a follow-through from Josh Glavin? As there's no question, the stick comes up and hits Justin Klutze in the mouth, and he's got the at least a decent-sized cut, maybe minus a tooth or two.
And you wonder, the longer this is going on, the call on the ice obviously was the double minor high stick. Seemed to be pretty cut and dry from the angles we've seen. I'm sure you'll have one party unhappy no matter what.
And we did see it at the edge of your screen back in the face-off circle. Mac Nichol indicates the wave of the hand to say follow through. So here's the case. Josh Glavin is out of the penalty box. And that's what Mac Nichol's got the unfortunate task of explaining to Brady Martin right now. Glavin out of the box. And a honk of the horn says that maybe we're not done yet. Justin Klutze is going down the Soo Greyhound tunnel right now. He'll get some repairs. And have not yet taken the penalty off the video board, but Josh Glavin is on the Saginaw bench right now. And there you see the aftermath on Klutze. Again, no mistake about the contact of the stick, but on a follow-through. Not a high-sticking penalty, and now John Dean needs an answer on the Greyhound bench.
That's hockey, and it's unfortunate for Klutze. Certainly want him back in the game as soon as possible. But I'm not really sure there's a whole lot to be arguing here if you're Coach Dean.
8:17 left in the third. We'll skate at 5 against 5. Well, again, you want to show your players that you'll stick up for them no matter the circumstance. 8:17 here in the third period. Now the ice crew is going to come out. They want to try to get a scrape of some of this blood off the ice, but you guys are almost ready to drop this puck, and there is a considerable pool of it down by where the incident occurred. Our attention was all on the drops in front of the penalty box, but the majority of it is just outside the near side face-off circle, the Spirit end. So, okay. How do they respond is the question. You thought you had a 4-minute power play coming if you're the Soo Greyhounds, and now you're down one of your top 6 forwards for an unknown amount of time. I don't know how quickly you can have stitches put in. Knowing what we know about Justin Kluche, if he can come back, he's going to come back, but just from a sheer time crunch standpoint, depending on how long it takes us to play these next 8 minutes.
You know he's not even happy to be back in that locker room right now. So here we go. Big stage of this game. Who comes out firing now off a major call as the Spirit lead 3-2, 8:17 to go, third period.
Papoy and Fitzgerald need an extra talking to off the face-off. It comes back. Glavin to Barnes. Up the far side. Lucas Fisher for the Sioux. Reed sees it angled back in. Barnes to chase it down. Brady Smith on him. Barnes makes the pass while falling. It's intercepted by Louse. Fisher at the point to chase Reed. Sends it back on through. Here's a chance for Louse right in front. And the puck too far away from Brady Smith. So this is Brody Papoy. Cross ice off the stick of Fisher. Carson Harmer throws it in front where it's intercepted. 7:45 to go in the third. We stay at 5-on-5. Carson Harmer, who has Saginaw's first goal in this game, intercepted with some help from Kluche. James go for Levi Harper while Harmer and Smith battle during the line change. Harper's looking for a teammate. He finds Barabanov to go. The shot save made by George as everybody is being separated in between the benches right now. Travis Hayes can't get the puck out of the zone as Barabanov was on him. Comes up with a high stick there. Play's going to continue. Chase Reed fires it back in from center red. Stepan Shurigan paddles it away there for Levi Harper. Igor Barabanov. Up to Nikita Klepov. Into the offensive zone with speed and 7 minutes left in the period. Finds Harper. Wanted the shot. Left the puck behind. Here's Barabanov. Brady Martin back in behind the Sioux goal. Pangretich finds Sharon. Poked at by James Go. Miscommunication between Harper and Jilkin. Martin is in. Finds Minyosa. Shot was broken up by James Go and a pad save made by Shurigan. Now Pangretich this shot blocked by Igor Barabanov. He gets back to a thankful Spirit bench. Jakob Winkelhofer for Pangretich. Pass cut off by James Go. Given right back to Winkelhofer, now Pangretich. Off the boards again, James Go. Carson Andrews sends it back in here for the Sioux. Shurigan quickly to Levi Harper. Lays it up the boards. Too far as Ryan Hanrahan was contacted by Winkelhofer. This is Pangretich here for the Sioux. Into the skates of Christopher Brown. Looks towards the middle. Sends it off the boards instead. Levi Harper checking all around to see what his options are. Once James Go, they get up to Jensen Geldar. Cut off by Croskery. Puck left behind. James Go reels it in ahead of Brown. Uses the net for safety and clears it out. Glove down off of Ryan Hanrahan. This is Brown. Evans, then Croskery. Fires it back in off the glass and in behind Stepan Shurigan. McKenzie trying to steal. Bouncing puck. This is Louse. High in the offensive zone. A shot deflected. Right past save Shurigan. They score out of the scramble. Jeremy Martin stayed with it. Second of the game. The Greyhounds tie it at 3.
Bouncing puck looks like it caught Shurigan off guard, and Jeremy Martin was ready for it. We mentioned he had a 12-game point streak and has had 1 point in the last 5 games since. How about 2 goals in this third period? Both of them in tying efforts. And a great job by Martin, hand-eye and all, to stay with that puck. Goal number 28 on the season. And we have a 3-3 game, much like the season series between these two, with 5:26 to go in the period.
Quinn McKenzie takes over here for the Greyhounds. Louse tied up. McKenzie pulls it back. Louse and McKenzie have the assists on the Jeremy Martin goal. A step on Shurigan covers up. He gets quite the snow shower from McKenzie. They'll have to answer Harmer and Cloutier for that one. 5:05 to go in the third. Tie hockey game at 3. We're back to finish regulation time at least after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh and Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear with a team that plays to win.
Hi, this is Brody Najum, and you are listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Back inside the Dow Event Center, a tie game, courtesy of Jeremy Martin's second goal of the season. Was named one of the league's most underrated players earlier this week. Seems about right. 2 goals as he's helped the Soo Greyhounds claw back into this one here in the third period. The whiteboards are out for the Soo Greyhounds and Saginaw Spirit coaching staffs.
Yeah, big offensive zone draw here. Face-off just about even 23-20 on the evening. Seems like every time the Greyhounds have had an answer, Saginaw's had a response. Every time Saginaw's had an answer, the Sioux have had a response. It's been an incredible game between these two. And now it's Martin versus Harmer. Offensive zone draw. 5:05 to go, third period.
Brady Martin, 10 of 16 from the circle with that. As that puck will not lay down for Chase Reed. Gets some separation from Brody Papoy, but he will steal. Reed will steal right back. Jeremy Martin sends it back in. Blake Barnes can't move that puck cleanly to Josh Glavin. Vignosa pulls it out. Brady Martin back in behind the net, off the boards. Kept alive by Fisher. For Chase Reed, that came back out. It goes off of Martin. That puck looked to have come back out into the neutral zone. It's all the way back down in the corner. The Spirit bench is already looking at the iPads right now. It might not matter. As here comes Papoy off the skate of Reed.
Yeah, glad it doesn't matter. From up here, you could tell that was about a good foot outside the blue line.
A steal.
Looking at each other.
Cloutier wanted Papoy. They'll collide with each other. Here comes Reed for Martin. Could be a chance back the other way. Fisher dropped it right back to Jacob Cloutier. They turn up ice. 3-on-1 for the Spirit. Cloutier down the right side with Barabano. Shoots and scores! Jacob Cloutier on the stick side. It's 4-3.
Jacob Cloutier adds another chapter to this fantastic contest between division rivals. It was a blind pass, drop back at the blue line for the Greyhounds that led Cloutier up ice. The defense was cheating over to Barabano offside the whole way. And right about the top of the circle, he committed to taking a shot. Another one, blocker side on Carter George. And just as they've done all game long, the Spirit have had another answer. 4-3, they lead 4 minutes to go.
8 goals in his last 8 games for Jacob Cloutier. Now this is Klepov as Saginaw looks to build on a 1-goal lead. Unassisted goal for Cloutier. 3.5 to go. In a game like this, might as well be an eternity. Puck out to center, off of Louse. Following on, Brady Smith, shouldered by Saginaw's Jones. Pangrenich on the near side while the Greyhounds change. Pangrenich in behind the net. This is Smith in front, looking back for Pangrenich, tied up by Barabanov. Klepov can't steal. Smith, shouldered by Barabanov. Croskery off the boards, right onto the stick of Jones. Backhanded in front, nearly intercepted by Andrew. Off the near wall, this is Dima Zilkin. Goes off the glass. It bounces in for Jacob Klutze, who takes a stick up high from Pangretich. Now back the other way it comes. Brown into the offensive zone. Tries to send it on through. It goes off the end wall and nearly came back in front. Rody Popoy. Too far behind Jacob Klutze. Wanted to strip Brown there. Comes back for Carson Harmer instead. Cross ice, it hops right over the stick of Jacob Klutze. He goes back to the bench on a change. 2.5 left in regulation. Brady Martin in for the Sioux. Down low, too far ahead of Croskery. Poked by Barnes. Puck comes back the other way to Josh Glavin. Just gets it out to center while taking a check there from Jeremy Martin. Chase Reed sends it back to Croskery. As Carter George goes back to his goal line, he was ready to make the break to the bench for the extra attacker. Brady Martin for Fisher. There goes the goaltender. Extra skater coming. Fisher sends it back in behind Stepan Shurigan. Jeremy Martin is there. Back at the right point, Reed fumbled, and Klepov might have a chance at the empty cage. Klepov's got a bad angle. Sends it back in front and hit his stick and went out the center. Blake Barnes back around for Glavin. Up to Dima Zhilkin, who goes to the air. Settled down by Fisher. Watched by Klepov. And there's Chase Reed for the Sioux. Picked up on the backhand by Brady Martin into the offensive zone. 90 seconds left in regulation. 6 attackers for the Sioux. Martin back and behind the Spirit net. Comes up the wall and finds Chase Reed. Slides it over. Lucas Fisher takes a shot. Deflects it just wide there by McKenzie. Martin's on it. Zhilkin can't strip him of the puck. Back and behind the net it goes and around. Marco Mignosa up top to Fisher. The point shot sent wide off the wall. Here's McKenzie back and behind the Spirit net again. Sent in front. The shot stopped by Shurigan with the shoulder as Martin got it up. Reed the chance, and that goes into the glass. Now it's McKenzie. Final 60 seconds. Fisher over Reed. One timer. That goes into the glass too. Here's Mignosa hit by Zhilkin. McKenzie in behind the net. Broken play to the boards. Fisher keeps it alive. Everybody collapses now. Mignosa through the seam. Off of Klepov and Zhilkin. Kept alive. McKenzie shot. Oh, what a save by Shurigan, and he stays on top for the whistle.
A collective exhale for the crowd here in the Dow Event Center. Stepan Shurigan saving his best for last. Wasn't sure where it was, but it was underneath him somewhere. What an attack that was from the Greyhounds. And now we're going to have a timeout, and there were some tired bodies out there for the Spirit. Or will we have a timeout? Looks like we might be going right into it off of a line change.
Well, they let everybody come back to the bench for the face-off, and Stepan Shurigan will take his typical knee in the face-off circle. Doesn't go back to the bench. Stays in the circle, stays in his own world. Tries to stay focused here in a game where he has been quite busy. 22 saves on 25 shots as the Greyhounds will take their timeout.
It's always an interesting strategy, right? If you're the Greyhounds, you're trying to win this face-off, draw up the best play you got. You got the empty net for about 40, just under 41 seconds. At the same time, you're now giving Klepov, Zhilkin, and Barabanov a break, as well as Harper and Glavin and Go. So Saginaw does not need to make the line change. They can go right back to their top dog. So you have a rested group for the Greyhounds as well. But the timeout allowed the top unit of the Spirit to stay on the ice as well for the final 40 seconds.
Offensive zone face-off here for the Sioux Greyhounds is key. They have the 25-20 advantage in the dot here tonight. Brady Martin is 10 of 16. He's been their best. And he'll take this face-off against Carson Harmer. Carter George is at the bench. 6-on-5, and the Spirit win the D-zone draw. They try to escape up the near side. Mignosa jammed up there with Klutze. 2 goals already. Klepov looking for the record and the empty net. Forced to the boards by Fisher. Jacob Klutze follows on. Fisher's got Klepov around the waist, and Jacob Klutze is just trying to take as much time as possible. Klepov into the boards. A lot of trouble coming out of the corner. It's out of Klepov's skates now for McKenzie. 16 to go. One last chance here for the Sioux. Shut down at the blue line by James Go. Twisted far side. Chase Reed with 8. From his own blue line. Mignosa wanted to go back for him. They're offside. 2.1 left. It'll come in the neutral zone.
I tell you what, Nikita Klepov might have just won the Saginaw Spirit this game. How selfless of a play in the offensive zone. He had a chance to get risky and try and shoot that puck with the defenseman right in his wheelhouse as well. Instead, he took that puck along the wall and tied it up, killing another 15 seconds. Kluchik came in to help as well, and they killed off almost half of the allotted 40 seconds to now just 2.1 seconds. That is what makes him a future first-round NHL draft pick. It's not always the points. It's the smart plays as well, and he did a great job to kill the time right there.
Carson Harmer against Brady Martin. Martin tries to go forward with it. Jilkin picks his pocket. Chase Reed fired the puck after the whistle. It's a 4-3 win. The Saginaw Spirit take the advantage in the season series, a massive 2 points as they look to climb the Western Conference standings here in the last week of the season.
Just a great effort from the Saginaw Spirit. Talked about it in the second intermission, all the little things and how you win games as the quote-unquote underdog this time of year. They did right tonight. They limited the turnovers. They got bodies in the way of shooting lanes, and most importantly, they capitalized on their chances. Stephon Shurigan, a big part of it as well. What a win for the Spirit. 4 of their last 6 down. A little bit of momentum as the season heads to April and the OHL playoffs.
You think the Spirit love their goaltender? A little forehead kiss from Bodie Stewart. Haven't seen too many of those in the meeting with the goaltender post-game. Shurigan stops 22 out of 25 and backstops the Spirit to their 26th victory of the season. You can be sure we'll talk about him a little bit more. We'll take a break. 3 stars of the game coming up after this. Post-game here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Your WSGW morning team.
If lawmakers have their way, the state of Rhode Island will no longer allow Mr. Potato Head to be on an iconic license plate. Hasbro has had its headquarters in Pawtucket, Rhode Island for 70 years. Now, because of the popularity of Mr. Potato Head, they have special license plates. And this plate has a depiction of Mr. Potato Head. Well, the problem is Hasbro has announced it's moving its headquarters out of Rhode Island, going to Boston. So lawmakers say, hey, you're leaving the state. There's no reason we should be advertising your product on our license plates. Problem is, it's a fundraising plate. It goes to help support Rhode Island's community food bank. The food bank folks, others say, it's helped us raise as much as $60,000.
Come up with something else to support the food bank. What else is in Rhode Island?
That's a good question. What else is in Rhode Island?
The morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Theatrics, Stephon Shurigan helps to protect the Spirit lead, and it ends up being a 4-3 victory for the Saginaw Spirit. We'll take you back through the most eventful of the 3 periods here tonight. Saginaw took the advantage at 2-1 into the final frame. Jeremy Martin got the party started for the Sioux, but not before needing some saves, this is a chance there from Levi Harper. That would be Saginaw's first goal of the period after Jeremy Martin would even things up here for the Sioux. This is that goal in that 3rd period. And again, no chance for Stephon Shurigan on that one. Martin finishes the game with 2 goals, his 27th and 28th of the season. Jacob Kluche in a tie hockey game, 2nd of the night. Low to the blocker side of Carter George. He's got 21 on the year. You think he's fired up And the Spirit, again, would call on their goaltender, Stepan Shugan, as they did a handful of times, 22 saves on 25 shots to help preserve the victory for Saginaw. Final stats brought to you by Raymond. 8-5, they were outshot in that period. The Spirit were 25-14 in the game. The Greyhounds had the advantage. Good night percentage-wise for the power plays. Greyhounds are 1 for 1, Saginaw 1 of 2. And we saved all the goals, it would seem, for the third period. One last time up inside the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark, Jack Snevice. Jack, things are tight in the standings right now. I know we'll get to the scores all the way around and what this means for the playoff implications, but not bad to kind of get your palate ready for postseason hockey.
I mean, this was a playoff game, and it had the energy, it had the feel, it had the close style of play while going back and forth up and down the ice. And for the Saginaw Spirit, you have to feel good if you're them. You're such a young team. You're fighting for playoff position between 8, 7, 6, you name it. You know, hasn't been the year probably they thought it might be, but when you have the leading scorer and the third leading scorer in the OHL, anything can happen. And they simply took over this game at moments when they needed to. We talked about the Greyhounds' depth. It was on display. Lines 1 through 4 were rolling all game long, but the best players were the best players tonight for the Saginaw Spirit, and it showed on the score sheet with a 4-3 win over their rivals.
Really important here for the Spirit. Again, just 2 games left. They'll see the Soo Greyhounds again on the road on Friday and then close things out at home here against the Sarnia Sting, and every point matters. We'll take a look at the 3 stars for tonight's game, brought to you by Applebee's. A hard-fought battle to the end here tonight.
Certainly, and it's hard to argue with any of the 3 stars. Nikita Klepov had his fingerprints all over this game, 2 assists. Nathan Aspinall had 2 points tonight as well, so he maintains his lead, looking to become the first rookie scoring leader in the OHL in almost 20 years. Jeremy Martin, 2 goals in the third period, both of them tying fashion. He almost had a hat-trick goal there at the end as well with the mad scramble in front of the net that Shurigan stood tall for, and Jacob Kluche, the 2 goals, including the game winner. Again, every time the Greyhounds scored, it seemed like there was an answer. Jacob Kluche had a big hand in that in the 4-3 Spirit win.
3 stars of tonight's game brought to you by Applebee's. Take a look at the road ahead here for Saginaw in the regular season. It's quite short. Friday night, they're back in the Soo for a rematch. Greyhounds can even the season series at 4 games apiece. Spirit could take it as well. 7:07 puck drop there, and then back at home. Overage Player Appreciation Night as the Spirit honor James Go, who will play his final regular season game here in the Ontario Hockey League Saturday against the Sarnia Sting. 7:05 puck drop there. You can get tickets at SaginawSpirit.com, though they are going fast for the final home game of the regular season. You can follow along live on Flow Hockey and on 100.5 FM WSGW. Your Applying Innovation look ahead at the regular season. And while Saginaw's playoff opponent in the first round is still not yet known, first 2 home playoff game tickets are on sale. Again, the dates TBD, the opponent TBD, but you can get your playoff tickets here in Saginaw, also at SaginawSpirit.com. What a night. A couple of other notes around the OHL before we let you go. The London Knights did win in regulation, so they leapfrogged the Soo Greyhounds for 4th place. They have the home ice now, at least for the moment. The Owen Sound Attack picked up the victory over the Flint Firebirds, also in regulation. So they will take over 6th place from the Guelph Storm. So it goes it goes Owen Sound, Guelph, and then Saginaw, who again have come up the rear in 8th place, but still managed an important 2 points here tonight. 4-3 the final score. Extra little check at your out-of-town scores. Why not? An exciting night, to say the least. Stepan Shurigan, Jacob Kluche, heroes for Saginaw in the most important time shy of the playoffs. Andy Harrington's been our broadcast technical director. Matthew Lester is back at the WSGW studios. For Jack Snevice and everybody here, my name's Dylan Clark. Thanks for being with us tonight, Saginaw. Good night, and we will talk to you in the Soo on Friday.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.